Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gilded Flask, where adventure is never far, episode 31, and the final episode for 2022. Oh, yes. As you can see, we're all dolled up because it's almost Christmas time. Oh, yes. I'm joined with three wonderful people in equally amazing outfits. Please introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Anne. I'm the Happy Holiday Halfling, Carla Lilac-Hart. That's who I play. I really messed that up. Yes, there we go.
I'm Daniel. I play John Varenthal, the red-nosed hexadon human.
And I'm Cesario. I had a cooler costume, but it gets clipped out weird by my thing. I play Casario, the Asmar Twilight Cleric.
We're very prepared.
Beautiful. I love this. We tried, guys, and we look amazing still. Like, you know, even without that, we look amazing. So, if you have never visited our place before, welcome. Hello, good to see you. We don't usually dress like this. We are on Twitch, we are on YouTube, we have our own podcast, so you can find us on a lot of channels. And if you are on one of those channels, thank you for finding us. If you want to catch us live, come to us on twitch.tv/The Gilded Flask, where we stream live every Saturday. We post our recordings on YouTube as well, and you can listen to us on the go on the podcasts. We also have some social media channels. If you want to catch all of those, please visit thegildedflask.com for a complete list. We have a couple of awesome people that we would love to shout out because they have helped us make the story great as it is. Those are in no particular order. Desandra and Paradox for creating our amazing character art. Pyram King, James RPG Art, and DM Andy for the amazing maps and content that we can use. And then we have Tabletop Audio, Scott Buckley, Phoenix Music, Alex Kazan, and Alexander Nakarada for the great musical scores that we have in the background that really bring the story to life. Additionally, we want to thank Scarlet Feathers for making the awesome armor set that Daniel is currently wearing. Look at that. Looks amazing. We also have Aconite Creations, who has made a stunning chest piece for Marissa that she usually wears but is not wearing today because we are wearing our Christmassy outfit.
This one isn't it. It's even cooler.
It's even cooler than that. So look at our previous episodes for that.
Or future.
Lastly, or future. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we will, of course, be back. And lastly, we want to shout out Jack of Dice, a dice shop in the Netherlands who has the largest selection of dice of the European Union. Oh, yes. If you want to visit him, check out jackofdice.nl for their complete selection. And with that, let's head into detail.
Tell me, do you like ghost stories? I've been investigating people vanishing mysteriously into the night, never to return. It looks like I've found out where they've been.
Good evening.
I don't like this place. The air feels heavier.
Did you hear that?
What do you mean he's watching?
In this place, nothing is what it seems.
We come from an ancient land.
There's no time for this. What are you looking for?
This place has taken my father and my mother. It will not have me.
We gotta move, now!
Oh, I do love a good mystery.
Barovia is mine, and so are you.
For the 31st and final time this year, I'm going to say, what an amazing intro. I love it. Made by our very own Casariel. Thank you so much for the effort that you put into that. It's an amazing intro. I really love it. So where were we last week? You guys were in Kresk. You stayed with the inn over there, and then you decided to go visit the Abbey, which is part of, the route towards the Abbey is part of the village of Kresk. You stopped by the little body of water, the magical blessed body of water where you've seen Sergei before, the brother of Strahd from Zarovich. You stopped over there, you had a little chat with him, he talked with you a bit, he explained a couple of things, he showed a couple of things. And then you proceeded to go up the hill towards the Abbey. While you were going up, you ran into a couple of werewolves that were attacking a warg. You sort of saved the warg, and you also got the werewolves to, die.
Some of them. One of them made it.
One of them actually made it out. That is true. Unfortunately, also, one of you was hit by the werewolves, Casariel, and you didn't feel that great afterwards. A couple of strange creatures came down the hill to help you out.
Very strange.
With the attack. They looked like part human, part animal, with leathery skin and like patches of goat fur and like all of those things. Really, really weird. But they helped you up the road towards the Abbey. And when you walked into the Abbey, you walked into the main hall, you met with the abbot, the sole inhabitor, other than these weird creatures, of the Abbey. You had a talk with him, which was interesting. He had some interesting viewpoints on life and the world around him and Strahd, which he shared with you. After which, you decided to have another look around. The abbot was perfectly fine with that. You decided to go into the basement just below the main hall, and that is where we left off last week.
And you had a friend visit.
But oh yes, you were. John was not really feeling himself. That is true as well.
This guy.
Oh, you know you love me.
No.
Doubt.
So just to reiterate, let me see. You were over here. This was the main hall, and you were just going down the stairs. One thing I hadn't added last week, it's a minor detail, but as you might have noticed, when you came into the Great Hall, the music was rather pleasant. It sounded like a violin being played, and while you were in the Great Hall over here, you've met with the abbot and you've met with Vasilka, who was sitting next to him. Both were not playing the violin. Now, as you are descending the stairs, you notice that the sound of the violin is getting louder.
Come along. We've got much to discover.
Oh. We'll
Do you want to go down?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. The cellar itself is rather dusky, rather dark, and covered in cobwebs. Unkept, basically. There's a lot of racks here with wine bottles in them. And you hear the sound of a violin rather clearly down here, behind one of the wine racks.
So John's basically just almost sauntering down the stairs with his arms behind his back. It's Escher, and as Escher is just looking around with almost a sense of disdain at this unkept place. This place could have so much more potential. And he's just walking through.
Carla is going to try and halt them as we hear the sound of the violin just a little bit. And she's going to kind of do a motion to be quiet. And she'll pop out her mirror from her thieves' tools and try to really sneakily place it around this corner without really showing herself to see if she can see what's down there with the mirror.
Sure. You don't have to roll for that because that'll succeed. As you do that, you notice that in the faraway corner of this lane, if you will, there is a creature that is sitting against the wall, playing the violin. It's dark down here, so it's hard to see what he completely looks like, but you think you see two faces instead of one.
Friend or foe? Carla will call out and kind of pop her head over here.
As you say that, there is a very short pause in the music before he continues playing, and you hear, what?
Are you one of the
get it.
abbot's playthings?
No, I'm one of his servants.
Thought as much.
And is your only job to stay down here and play violin?
No, of course not.
As Carla's sort of getting closer to him, she's going to be checking all of these shelves for any more champagne doula stomp.
All right, give me an investigation check.
Oh, I'm great at those. That is going to be a 24.
Nice. Okay. You notice that there is no champagne here. First of all, these are all bottles of wine. They are various vintages between either Grape Mash or Red Dragon Crush, and they're different numbers. So these are pretty old. As to the quality of the wine, it's hard to tell whether or not that means they've increased in quality or decreased. What you do notice, however, is that there is one bottle that sort of is sitting weirdly in its place. And as you get close to it, you notice that there is a rolled up piece of paper in there.
I'm going to try and very sneakily sort of like take it out, and without anyone kind of really noticing, like stealthily.
Okay. I can't speak for John or Casario if they want to be noticing of what you're doing, but the gentleman playing violin at the moment is sure as heck not noticing what you're doing.
I want to.
So
I'm
you're
gonna
going to take it out?
Yeah, I'm going to take it out.
All right. It seems to be a rolled up spell scroll of Hero's Feast. You can add that to your inventory if you want.
Whoa!
Yeah. Ooh.
That's a big one, indeed.
Yeah.
Much excited.
So, Hero's Feast is a 6th level spell, which allows you to create a banquet of food for, I believe, up to 6 creatures. Don't quote me on the number, but at least for an X amount of creatures. You can eat
3.
and drink from that for...
More than 3.
Yeah, more than 3 at least. And you can eat and drink all of that for an hour. And after an hour, up to 12. There we go, 12. After an hour, you'll gain some benefits. You'll notice that when you use it.
Oh, okay. Alrighty, I'll tuck that into the bag of holding. Easy peasy. And then I will just kind of slowly make my way down towards this guy, trying to appear very non-threatening. Kind of like, oh, you know, casually here. And when I get here, what I want to do is look at this box or book or whatever it is.
It is a little placemat, sort of like a little like workshop placemat, and you see that this is where they make the stoppers for all the bottles.
Okay, so it's nothing that interesting.
No, unless you want to get into the trade.
You know, suspiciously, I don't. Yeah. As I make my way closer, can I notice anything else strange about this guy besides the fact that he clearly has 2 heads?
Absolutely. First of all, the 2 heads indeed seem to be part of one body. You notice that he is a single, probably adult male, and he has a second small head next to it. The second head is much younger and is passed out. Looking at him, he might be either very caught up in his music, or he might have been sampling some of the wine that's over here. It's hard to tell just initially. Other than that, you notice that he too, like all the other creatures that you've met so far, is sort of like a puzzle. He is human, but he's kind of smallish, about 4 foot, which, I mean, for you isn't all that small, Carla, but you know, it's below average. You see that he has some small goat horns. He has a crab-like hand in which he is holding the bow for the violin. And one of his feet looks like a bear paw.
Interesting. Say, we've been just sort of around and about town. You wouldn't happen to have heard of anyone, you know, digging up any corpses around here? Especially if anyone sees drunk, I'm going to be kind of plain.
Digging up corpses? No, of course not. That would be terrible.
Wouldn't it? Oh. If you hear anything, you know, let me know. If you see me again, ever. Probably not, but let me know. And then I'll mess...
Are you here visiting the abbot?
Yes, we just spoke to him. He's lovely.
We? Is it not just you?
I have some friends. They're around.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, they're welcome anyways.
How tall are these wine racks? Are they like super tall?
You're basically invisible to him right now because it's dark and you're behind it. Yeah, these are like, you know, almost to, so yeah, he can't see you.
And I'll just peek around the corner here. Hello.
Okay. He looks over at you and is still like in that sort of like merry, happy state. He looks over at you, nods and smiles, and as he opens his eyes from the nod, you see that he is staring at you for a couple of seconds. And he then looks at Carla, and he looks back at Casario, and he grins, and he says, "So good to see I'm not alone. You're one of us, aren't you?"
Which one of us?
He says to Casario.
Oh.
What do you mean, one of you?
Well, I don't want to pretend, but I mean, and he briefly stops playing and lifts up his crab-like claw. He says, "Not exactly human, and it is what it is. But hey, so you aren't either."
Oh,
that's nice.
No. Yes, we do have that in common.
Yes. So where did you get that patch of fur?
Do I have a patch of fur? Am I blue? Am I blue?
You seem to have a patch of fur on your neck, right there.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Oh dear.
It sounded like you said fur. What?
Yeah, with an F.
Was it white fur, at least?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll grant you that.
Carla will hold out her mirror to Casario reluctantly.
But... Well, you're not going to tell me about this? Did you see this? Did you know this was happening?
I didn't notice. No, I was a little bit distracted by, you know, everything that's going on. But oh my god, it's okay. We can fix this. We will fix this.
All right.
Casariel, as you're looking into the mirror, give me a perception check. And roll it with advantage, because this is important to you.
Okay, well, I got a 2 and an 18.
There you go.
A million for my perception is +5, so...
Okay.
Really.
Yes, there is indeed a blonde platinum patch of fur on your neck. Additionally, you're noticing that your nose has been widened just a little bit, and your mouth is starting to protrude minimally. But you'll notice that.
Is that meant to happen so quickly after a bite?
That's a great question. I think I would know that. How long does this process take? That I know of in our world.
The problem is that there's 2 types of lycanthropy, but the one that is most common actually doesn't really have a timer on that. It's just whenever the full moon is rising.
I look like I'm turning into a wolf. Is what it looks like in the mirror.
It's not like you're actively turning into it, but you're starting to show a couple of signs of it. Yeah.
I have fur. I have fur.
Oh dear.
I am one of you. Isn't that exciting?
Not for long, not for long. Don't worry. Figure this out.
What was your name?
Me? Oh, I'm Cloven.
Cloven. Gasariel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What are you doing later on?
Sleeping. Probably. I like to sleep at night. What are you doing later on?
Oh, the same. And since you are guests over here, if you require a room to sleep, I can offer you my quarters.
Really? Where are they?
Oh, on the other side, just through the courtyard. You can't miss it. It's a little worn down, but I can try and fix it up a little bit for us.
Isn't that nice? That is just really nice. Cloven?
Excuse me, Cloven, if I may. Before you have your sleepover,
I glare.
Could we inspect the place first?
Oh, by all means. The Abbey's open to all.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Was John present, or was he near you when you did the Ouija board earlier that said go to the morgue?
Yes.
I would assume so, yeah.
Cloven, do you happen to have a morgue or a science location in this establishment?
What's a morgue?
Place for dead people.
Ah,
Not a graveyard.
yes. Oh,
Before they're dead. To prepare
Good
them
point.
for being buried?
we don't really do that, but I mean, there are some rooms upstairs that they don't really use for that, and it used to be used for that, I think.
Oh.
But I don't know. I'm not smart.
Well, sure you are. Could you tell us how to get there?
I would say up the stairs. If you don't know that, you're indeed not much smarter than I am.
I would have to say, Cloven, despite your lack of digits, you play that exceptionally well.
Thank you.
Well done.
The wine does help.
Of course it does. I don't think there's anything more to be gained here, Carla.
Yes, I think we should go before she turns into a werewolf. We need to get this done as fast as possible.
Oh, but that's
And
such
then,
a fascinating transformation.
That would be really
There
interesting,
again.
but I think she would go for your face first, to be honest.
Oh, she can have her little friend.
Well, Cloven, it was nice to meet you. Is there anything we should know about this place? Is there any dangerous bits that we should stay away from? Since we are friends, you tell me, wouldn't you?
Well, I would watch out for the guard on the wall.
Oh.
He takes his job very seriously.
Mm.
And I guess you should be nice to the Kenku upstairs. They're not dangerous, but we try to keep them as friends.
Right, of course.
Oh, what's Kenku?
Oh, they're
What do they look like?
disgusting little bird people.
Yeah.
It's like Kiri. Kiri's a Kenku.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Right?
Okay.
They don't watch that. I'm pretty sure. All right.
I'll allow it.
That was not in character. The god, if we do run into him, is there any? Should we say anything? Like, is there a password or?
No. The password is probably that you're going to be thrown off the wall.
But would he throw you off the wall?
Oh, yes.
Oh. And he's employed by the abbot.
He was made by the abbot, yes.
He was made by the abbot.
Oh, you wait. Asher comes rushing back. So wait, you're telling me that he does make these things? Are you made? Were you made?
Well, sure I was. I was made by my mom and dad.
Oh, so the guard is different than you then.
Yeah, of course he is. He's hideous.
He looks over the claw and the multiple heads and the bear. He goes, yes, hideous. I don't think we're getting much more out of him, Marissa. Or, damn it, Casario.
Right?
Darlings, just to mention, he did warn us about the flesh golem he created. We have one of our own, if you can't remember.
Right.
Indeed. I just wanted one more word with my friend. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to ask now. Crap, I feel like it was really good. Oh no.
I call you Casario
yes.
all the time outside of stream, and then here, yeah.
No, I think I remember. I'll just come kind of closer and like whisper, kind of, just like it's between us friends, us two of a kind. Is the abbot nice to you, Cloven?
Yeah?
He is. Is he nice to everyone here?
What are you getting at, lady?
Well, I just want to make sure you're well treated is all.
Oh, yeah, we have stuff to do, and, my family is sometimes not exactly the smartest cookie in the bunch, but the abbot takes good care of us, and I take good care of my family, and we have something to do, and we have something to eat. That's really all we can ask for. Over here, we're safe.
All right. And what, you play the violin for him? Is that what you do?
Well, I played for him as well, but also for myself to relax after a hard day's work.
What sort of work do you do?
I make sure everyone is fed. I do some cleanup. And I tend to the grounds. I distribute the tasks that have to be done.
What sort of tasks?
Well, we need to tend the garden, of course. We till our own vegetables. We do some cleanup. And we need to make sure that those that cannot help are looked after.
Well, it's been a pleasure. If we decide we're going to stay here, we'll come back and see you. So,
I would
bye.
love that.
Oh, okay, goodbye. She's gonna just
Bye now.
back up and.
Escher's leaning against the wall, and he's just sort of looking at his hands, going, enjoying time with your new
Not
friend.
one word, not a single fucking word, not one. Go, and I'm gonna push him up the stairs.
Gotta love it.
We
that
are-
is the wrong map. I'm so sorry.
Teleportation.
It is going to be one of those,
Nice and cool.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Fine.
Last one of the year. We're okay.
While our heroes are visiting the abbot over in Kresk. Da-da-da.
There we go. As you come up the stairs, the abbot looks over as he hears the footsteps on the stairs, and he says, hope you enjoyed the cellar. Feel free to look around some more if you want to.
Thanks. Are you going to get her any better clothes, by the way?
In time, it's hard to get something, nice made, and it's hard to get her measurements right, to be honest. But in time, yes, that's...
John looks at her and then looks at Diva and says, it does look difficult to make something correctly. I agree.
I'm gonna just
Yes.
peek around and I'm gonna say, in Celestial, I will say, good evening, Abbot.
He will smile very warmly at you and speak Celestial with you. And he say, good evening, my child. It seems you are troubled. And you notice that he's looking at you, like not in your eyes, but slightly below it.
It seems that I am. In defending the road to your abbey, I was bitten.
Still in Celestial, I imagine, right?
Yes.
He will continue in Celestial as long as you will. Do you require aid?
Could you fix it?
But of course, that's what I do.
I will say in common. So you could fix this so that it goes away permanently.
Yes.
Is there a price to that?
Not really. However, I would be very happy if you could find the time, if you would pass by a nice gown of her size.
Well, I was just about to Carl's gonna pull out the book of misspells. And you mage armoire once more. To try
Oh,
and
that
get
is
my
funny.
finery.
That is well done. Okay. So you cast Mage Armor, which indeed turns into Mage Armoire, and an armoire of clothing pops next to you on the ground. Let me quickly look what you have to roll for that, but you can roll a couple of times to get some nice clothing out of that. Let me quickly see.
By the way, smart use of Celestial, because John does understand Celestial, but I don't think Escher, while dominating him, will actually.
He
pick
cannot
that up.
understand this.
No.
It was actually just to make sure that the abbot spoke Celestial. That's what I wanted to find out.
Yeah,
Art,
There are some spells that I think it might be, or that Kasariel and I think it might be, that I think they could speak Celestial even if they didn't speak Celestial, but... Mon you.
Carla, roll me 3 d20s.
3d20 is exciting. Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right. So we have a 10, a 7, and a 19.
All right. As you open up the armoire, 2 sets of clothing that are in this armoire are of traveler's quality. So they are just above what a common peasant would wear, but they're not exactly fine robes. The third one, however, is a set of clothing of fine quality. As a matter of fact, it is a dress of fine quality. There is even a bit of satin in there. And I imagine you show this to the abbot?
Yes. And I'm quite skilled with a sewing needle. I sew all the pockets in my jacket myself. I could tailor it to her if you are willing to help my companion, of course.
The abbot smiles very warmly at you and he says, I very much appreciate this effort. The trouble is, this is not a bridal gown.
A bridal gown? What color is the gown?
Yellow.
You know,
And
it's
you know what?
all the rage in brides these days. In Neverwinter, oh my goodness, you should see the colors they have on brides. She would be very forthcoming with this. I'm going to really try and sell this. And I'm like, okay, so we could zhuzh up maybe some of the sleeves, like puff it out a little bit.
Carla, wasn't there that incredible seamstress in Vallaki?
Yes.
We are going there. Perhaps we could just bring you back a bridal gown after we go to Vallaki.
I have heard of a seamstress in Vallaki. Perhaps indeed she might be able to fashion something. For now, I can help you and see it as a back payment, something you can do when you come back. No pressure.
Perfect.
Let me get her measurements now, and Carla's going to go over and like measure the corpse, and basically
Corpse
kind of look
bride.
at Kasariel to be like, try and get cured now.
Okay. As you go over to take the measurements of Vasilka, as soon as you touch her, an unholy scream comes forth out of her body. Like, it is impossible to imagine that a sound like that comes from a tiny female body like that. But other than that, she remains still and you can take her measurements.
Is that normal?
she still needs to learn how to behave and speak. I'm so sorry.
Oh my. I'm going to bring forth the mage hand to continue the rest of it, if that...
That very much helps.
Okay.
All right. The abbot looks at Casario and he says, I will need to touch you if you are okay with that.
Of course. Of course. We're all friends here. We're all of the blood. At least you and I are.
Come here, my child. And as you approach him, he will touch you, and he will, like on the area that's affected, and he will cast a greater restoration on you. So anything that might have ailed you is now gone, and you are fully back to health.
Nice.
Oh, can I tell what that was?
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell it was greater. Okay, great. I have that. So we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
That feeling is a one-of-a-kind thing, and you probably have experience in your life. You'll instantly recognize that.
Okay.
She can even perform it. Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is most kind of you.
He holds out her. He goes, "Bless you." And
Oh, just will keep on exploring. Thank you again. Feel much better. Do I have fur still?
No, it's all gone.
Thank God. Thanks.
If you
Saloon.
require my services in the future, never be afraid to ask. That's what I am for. If you require restoration, or even if one of you have fallen in combat and require, well, something more powerful, perhaps I can be of assistance.
But before she comes back, Escher leans over to Carla and says, I wonder if this is going to affect her sleeping arrangements later.
It was, you know.
Sorry, I was going to just
going
take
to
his
be the
forearms, like, just like you would, like say, oh, thank you so much. But really, she's feeling to see if he feels like this is the right body, or if it feels bigger. Is there any illusion happening here?
Around the abbot, you mean?
Yeah, like she'll just place her hands on his like arms. You know how you kind of, I mean, it's pretty invasive. I know you kind of do, but like,
But
thank
You can totally do that if you want to.
so remember, John or Escher did do the divine sense, and he was.
I don't trust Escher. I don't trust Escher.
So as you touch up the abbot,
I'd like to feel up the abbot, please. Do I roll for that?
Can I roll for?
this went through my mind like 6 times. I was like, I'm just going to say it, and I couldn't. I am so sorry. Give me a perception check. Yep.
Perfect. Oh,
A sleight of hand check.
15.
Sleight of hand, yeah.
Oh, 16. 16. I rolled
16.
11.
All right. So as you run your hands over the abbot, we're professional. See, he's wearing a lot of robes, and he has a cowl, and like you've seen his face and his hair, and he looks like his face and his hair look absolutely stunning. He looks beautiful. He looks like a man in his like late 20s, early 30s that is just absolutely. He could be on the cover of People magazine for all you care. He's beautiful. But he's wearing a lot of robes, so I understand your question. But as you run your hands over his cloak, you feel how incredibly built he is. Like, this guy is a supermodel.
Sexiest celestial
so there
alive.
there is no illusion going on here, but the robes are definitely not helping. Like, he should be wearing something else if he would want to show this off.
I don't trust anyone prettier than me. Well, thank you again. We'll just be looking about.
That what you just did to her right there, are you able to do that with vampirism? Have you ever killed one of those?
Unfortunately not. Some powers extend beyond my capabilities and
desires.
It's not that. I act as an agent of my deity, and so one could say does a vampire. I might not see eye to eye with the methods, but it is very much still the same type of conveying, and I have little effect on that.
Yes. His arguments do have teeth to them, don't they?
Yes.
Just curious. We've met some ailed with that. Thank you. Come on, Casariel. We need to explore the rest of this place.
I'm gonna shoulder check Asher again.
Looking better, my dear.
Wish I could say the same for you, dear.
And you're
Right
going
up.
upstairs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. As you are going up, I need to reveal an area over here. Give me 1 second. Ooh,
By
this
the
is a
way,
little dark, right? Like, yes.
this crunching noise, just in case you're only listening and you can't see, it is my festive gear. So I'm so sorry if you keep hearing that. I'm really trying not to move, but it's
We're not hearing it.
taking over my neck. You're not. Oh, great.
No. We're not,
Never mind then.
Oh.
I actually completely forgot about it until you said anything. But yeah, we're not hearing it at all.
So loud in my ear. Okay, cool.
Just quickly doing another map switch because I'm missing part of the map that it wasn't loading for you guys.
Yeah, so anyways, about this huge crunching noise that you guys aren't hearing.
Do ASMR for a little bit.
Wait.
Yeah.
Can you hear
I'll
that?
fix
You
it.
can't hear that?
It's
That
very
noise
faint.
reduction, though. Dang.
Yeah.
Go ahead on. Go ahead on.
Escher with the antlers is a terrifying thing, to be honest.
Okay, I do have greater
You got
restoration, by
Asher
the way,
and-
but it's very expensive.
Good to know. Yeah.
Sorry for this, guys. The map is like the Abbey map is great, but for some reason it's having a little hard time with my. There we go. That's a lot better.
Cool.
Because you should be able to also see the outside a little bit. All right. As you guys walk up, you come to some sort of like a loft and belfry from the Abbey. You're gonna have to place your tokens over here, of course. But as you can see, most of it over here is made of wood. Whoop, there you go. And via the soft wooden stairs that you ascend, you climb about 20 feet into a loft with a pitched roof and a door on the east wall. There's some unlit lanterns that are hanging here from the rafters. And there's a rope that is dangling from a bronze bell that is lodged in the belfry, about 30 feet overhead. You notice around the room 3 cowled figures as you enter the room.
Oh, bird people. The third one over there. Hello. Do they just make bird noises?
They did so far.
Carlo will message this one. Be like, does this help the line of communication? Apparently not. Okay. She's going to minor illusion a tiny version of herself and a tiny version of the bird people, and she's going to put like them shaking hands in this little illusion and like a thumbs up to indicate we are friends, we are not enemies.
And the middle one of the 3 Kenku walks up to you and extends his feathery hand to take yours.
He'll take it back and shake it.
All right. And as you shake
Friendly.
it, he says, "Right to meet you."
I understood that one. Nice to meet you too. What's up here? We're doing a tour, as suggested by the abbot. It was incredible. What's up here?
He spreads his wings around and points at the other two, and he says, "We're Raven."
We're ravens.
Oh.
You wouldn't happen to know the Markovs, would you?
He nods,
Are you
yes.
relations or enemies or just distant cousins?
Cousins.
Cousins, yes. Okay.
Cousins can be enemies too.
They look-
Carla.
Very different to you. Oh yes, I know that. I've got a big family. Oh, okay. And what's on this table here? And she's going to walk up to the thing that looks like it's covering a body.
Yeah, luckily it isn't. It's basically just a bit of cloth that is on the table there.
Oh, okay. The blood splatter around it really doesn't help.
It's bird poop.
Oh, okay. They don't have toilets. Lovely. She's going to immediately start snooping in the desk and trying to hold casual conversation. And she's going to be like, oh, we've met the Markovs. They are absolutely, stand-up people. Do you make one as well? Much like them? And she's going to try and just gather whatever she can from this desk.
While you're doing that, and feel free to roll an investigation check on that, the Keku that you were talking to walks towards one of the windows.
Are you just going to growl this entire time?
This is just so. I thought you were going to be investigating things and discovering things and fighting things, these creatures, but you're talking to everybody. It's just. I've got better things to do than this.
Do you? Well, perhaps you should go do them. What's stopping you?
22.
What's stopping me? What?
Oh,
Welcome back, buddy.
Hi. Are you the Markovs?
they're related. Cousins.
Cousins.
You whistle good.
If you pull out that wand, so help me saloon.
In the pocket. In the pocket. What's
Keep it in
Don't
your
mention
pants,
it.
John.
Well,
What's
don't
with all the
mention
bird
that
poop?
wand.
the wand of raven explosion? It only happened once. It was a total accident. I'm so sorry. Hey, what's that over there?
22 on the investigation check. Anything interesting on the desk?
How much did you get to say?
22.
22. All right. With that 22, you will be able to discern that there is absolutely nothing interesting here. It's just like, unless you want to take it, there are a couple of like tools and whatnot around. There's like a pocket knife that really can't be serviced as a weapon. There is like a little scoop that can be used to like get some food together. Just a whole bunch of nothing really.
So we're looking particularly for a morgue. Do you know if there's a place where they store dead bodies around here?
Dead bodies? And you see like one of them walk towards this door.
That door? Oh, that way. Okay. Very helpful.
Pardon me. Hello. Is that the wall that above the entrance to the Abbey? The wall. Is that how you get to the wall?
Roll.
I think that's where our friend the giant is.
Hmm.
Is there a giant patrolling up there?
Is there a way to get to the morgue that's not related to the wall?
Oh, we could take him or talk to him.
Go through the courtyard, perhaps? Can we go through the courtyard and...
I think that's a yes. I'm going to interpret that as a yes.
I'm gonna look out the window. Is there something special that this thing is gesturing to or looking at?
He is indeed gesturing at something as he's like pointing at the window with his beak. John, if you're looking towards where he is looking, give me a nature check.
Cool. Okay. My nature is really good. With my -1, I got an 18.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're up high, like you're not on a mountain, but like the Abbey is on a hill, right? So that allows you to see quite far from like in any direction. And looking out the window towards where this Kenku is pointing, you could barely make out in the distance a hill with a rather large tree on top of it that is looking like it's starting to wilt. As you're looking towards that, the Kenku is just flapping and looking at you and then looking out the window again. And he says, green gem, green gem.
Hang on. Didn't we he pulls out the staff with the empty socket, and he's like, didn't we give a green gem to Strahd earlier?
All three of the Kenku turn towards you.
Oh shit. Does this tree remind me of the Galthius tree at all?
100%.
Okay. Looks like we got another issue that. Are there any druids over here, Carla? Because I think we're having some similar issues. I'm gonna point.
Yes. We didn't see any druids. This place seems to be under the protection of something else. When Carla looks out, is it the same tree?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's this exact same one from before?
It is the exact same tree.
Oh, yes. I can see that far.
It is a large tree on the hill that is wilting. And it's not that far from where you are right now.
Oh, okay. So the Galthius tree, the one that we fought, the heart underneath, is actually that one. Okay, cool.
Yes. And it's not that far from Kresk.
Oh yeah. We were there, stabbed the tree. I dug a hole down below and there was a big heart. We stabbed it. I think he points to Carla. I think she died and came back. And then fought a big
I don't think they need the story. All you need to know is your family, your cousins are safe. That's all you need to know. Nothing more. And she's going to like really look at John, and she's going to make the gesture of like zip it.
Yeah, they're safe. No more fireballs.
Blue water in.
Heard it's doing great. Heard it. We've stayed there. It is lovely.
We stayed there a few times.
The Kenku starts picking at his feet.
Lovely conversation. He's gonna follow Carla.
Go round instead of going on the wall. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's go.
He was over the gate though, wasn't he? Like the wall seemed to go all around.
You missed it a little bit, but we did have a conversation with someone who said if we even go on the wall, he'll try and like kill us, and that's not fun. You know, I could definitely go for a little bit of a rest before I fight anything else.
Is your name Rot? Rot. Okay, Rot. If we go out on this wall, are we gonna get attacked? Rot. Okay, thank you. And he turns and follows Carla.
Oh, wait. Could you squawk once for yes and twice for no? If we're going to get attacked. Oh, all right. Thank you. That's much more clear. Thank you.
Bye.
You want to go downstairs again?
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I can talk again. Yay.
Nice job as a Kenku, though.
Yeah.
These are both the most fun and the most annoying NPCs to play.
These are little Kiris and they're Kenkus.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, go screw yourself. Go screw yourself. As they're walking by, John sort of looks over his shoulder and was that a god and a corpse?
Do you remember that part? Do you remember sensing them
Oh.
when you were
Something like
Escher?
that. Hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember that, John, actually?
It's like a dream. Not really.
What in your dream, what was that hooded figure?
Yeah. I heard the same sound that I hear whenever because Casario's a celestial, right, or part celestial, so I imagine that she flares up whenever I hear or I do the divine sense.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
So it actually sounded an awful lot like you, and the same music that I hear when I think of you when I do it around you.
Oh, when you do that on me, do you only get celestial sound? Do you get a different sound as well?
Well, I hear
like
this
chord?
crackling sound whenever and I smell this foul odor whenever I'm around undead, but celestials, no, it's just a beautiful tone.
What about fiends?
It smells like brimstone. It smells sulfur, like, what I smell.
You never smell that
Not
with me.
No.
Okay. Good to know. Good. No, I would assume not. Be sure. Never can be too careful. I was just part wolf. Not 10 minutes ago.
Wait, what?
Anyway, and Casariel remembers what's in that.
Yeah.
Well, and actually she jumps on John's back.
Yeah,
Roll me strength check, John.
Really? Okay. Oh, natural 20. I don't even notice.
Oh.
Yeah, we've done this
carry her
so many times.
You carry her with the grace of many gods.
Hardly weigh anything at all.
We've probably done this before. Just horsing around.
Yeah. I'll jump
Alrighty.
down as we get to the door.
Cool. The door itself looks a little downtrodden and rotten, but serviceable. And as you open it, it opens into a rather large foyer with a rotten wooden staircase that, again, looks like you should be able to traverse it. And as you walk into the room, you notice that this foyer definitely has seen better days. The wall that you're walking towards has a rather large list on the wall. At the top of the list, in bold letters, it says, "When the morning bell rings," followed by a list of barely legible chores: garden work, watch, wood, cooking, chickens, and some more things.
I'm going to give both of my friends dark vision for the next hour.
Cool. It is indeed rather dimly lit in here. The only light that you have is the light from the outside. Carla, from where you're standing, you notice that there is a hallway that stretches all the way to the other side of this
That's long.
building. There's several doors on both sides.
We'll try to look upstairs first. Work our way down.
What we'll do then?
Upstairs first,
Upstairs first.
as you will.
Oh, wow. That is
I
way
feel
longer.
like that. I suddenly don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I don't either, but hey.
What could
Alright.
possibly
Yeah, I
go
follow her.
wrong?
Don't take my word for it. That's meta. Let me move your tokens.
When it's meta, it's better.
Oh, our friends.
Oh, there
Is
we
the
are.
map completely black again? It is, right? Yeah.
I only see the Kenku room.
I don't know what it is, but every single time I load up the second floor of the Abbey, the map stays completely black until I load up another scene and then load it back, and then it works. I don't know what that is, but here we are. All right, so as you walk up the stairs, and I'll show you that, you notice that you are walking into what seems to be an old library.
Exciting.
There you go. 1 second. You can easily see that the old Abbey library is not well kept. There's a lot of books here, and several of them seem to be like split and falling apart at the seam. There's a rather large wooden desk around the corner, and as you're coming up the stairs, you're hearing the sound of pages being turned.
Sounds like school.
Carla, as you're coming around the corner, you notice that behind the desk, there's a lady that is looking through the books. And as you come around the corner, she makes eye contact with you, immediately drops her book, and raises her rapier and dagger at you. She says, "Who are you?"
Alakart. I'm Colin Alakart. These are my companions. We're just over here looking for the morgue. But hello. We're friends, not foe.
Okay. What are you doing here?
Body-
Lowers her weapons a bit.
Bodies have gone missing in Kresk, so we were sent up here just to make sure that, one, you haven't experienced the same thing, and two, if they're, here.
All right. Do pardon me as well. My name is Esmeralda Davenir.
Pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine, really.
Holds out her hand.
Okay. She will put away her dagger and shake your hand.
Imagine it's over the desk as well, so like Carla's got like her chin up and
You're like leaning over the desk and she easily just like, okay, hello.
Pleasure to meet you. Are you the librarian here?
No. I live in this land as well, and I was allowed to do some research over here by the abbot. I'm looking into ways to, well, let me first ask you this. What brought you here?
To this land or to the Abbey?
Whichever you're comfortable with to answer.
The land wasn't exactly... we were looking for our friend's mother. She's here somewhere. That's what brought us here first, and now we're a little distracted. Helping. With the Abbey, I was being honest. We are just looking for whoever has taken those bodies. Or more leads and where they could possibly be.
Does the name Strahd mean anything to you?
We're kind of working for him.
Yes.
I mean,
She looks very intently at you, John. Working for him?
he's asking us to look for things, and it's not so much working for him, more like, doing a favor.
We were. We're done that now. We finished that task.
Doing a favor for the Dark Lord.
I don't think he likes to be called that. Or maybe he does. I don't know where we stand on that, actually. You're right, Carla.
We had a whole conversation about this.
Right.
She's going to message into Esmeralda's head. I'm so sorry about him. He's very simple. If nothing else, I don't work for Strahd.
Can I get a read on what I think? How do I feel about her? Just
I don't know how you feel about her, but you can definitely roll for it if you want to.
I
I
would
was gonna say, did she perk up at the idea that someone was working for Strahd, or did she get more guarded? Is what I'm thinking.
Definitely more guarded.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like almost as if she immediately reached for, like she didn't, but almost as if she was going to reach for her weapon. And
that's
that is
insight.
visual, so you can see that. Do me an insight. Yep.
Oh, I just forgot. Okay.
Yeah.
26.
26. So, the girl that is standing before you, like first off, the way that she looks like a combination between a Vistani and a traveler. She looks ready for action. She has a couple of weapons on her. She has some leathers, and she doesn't look too terrible, but she definitely looks like a little battle worn, just a little bit. She has a very inquisitive look about her. And seeing as you catch her while she's looking through books, yeah, it really feels like she is doing some sort of like investigative work or something. The way she is holding herself, she comes across as very, very reserved. As to the reason why she's being reserved, it's hard to tell after 2 minutes of conversation, but the reservation is definitely there. With your 26, if you'd have to take a guess on whether or not she is like with you or against you, that very much depends on your stance rather than her stance.
As Carlos mentioned, I'm looking for my mother. Are you searching for someone as well?
Funny you should mention that. I am.
I thought you might be.
It's silly, right? In this world, people come, but people do not go. And when you hear that someone might still be around, one would start looking. Sometimes foolhardily, but I have my reasons, as I imagine you do. I am looking for the man that has taught me a lot about the life that I currently lead, and in his absence, I am searching for any knowledge on the Dark Lord. I came here when I learned that Strahd had visited the abbot on several occasions, and I quickly learned that the abbot is not exactly what he seems to be. I don't know if you've noticed anything.
I haven't noticed it, but my suspicions are certainly raised.
Was it just my dream, or was the abbot actually like working for Strahd or with him or something?
He's working with an idea in mind about Strahd that I don't particularly agree with. But
Esmeralda, I should very much like to trust you. I believe you're someone that we've been bidden to find. Do you know Madame Eva?
Yeah, I do.
And your thoughts on Madame Eva?
She's a Vistani, I think. And she does fortune telling, I think. I've heard many a fortune being told by her, and it always seems as if she is correct. But as always with fortunes, they're never exactly what you think they are. My old teacher once had his fortunes read by Madame Eva, and part of them came true, just not as how we expected them.
Who was
what
your
was
old
his
teacher?
name?
I'm sorry?
Who was your teacher, like John said? If we have a name, we might have run into him. We've been all over this land.
If you'd permit me, his name carries a lot of weight, and I'd prefer not to simply share that with strangers just off the cuff.
Will you tell us what he taught you? What did he mentor you in?
Everything. He made the difference between not believing in being able to stand up for something and standing up for something. He too came from a distant land, and he was a researcher. He did some research on the Dark Lord, and he was adamant that there was a way to overcome him. And I believed him, and I want to carry on this research.
Carla.
What, John?
The head thing.
Oh. Yes, John?
You're
Yeah, I do hear
messaging?
that.
Okay. Are we looking for like a wizard guy somewhere?
We are, but I don't think it's the same one.
Okay. Never mind.
There's something a little strange about this.
Was he a practitioner of the arcane arts? Your mentor?
In a way, but definitely not a sorcerer or a wizard. Not at all.
Damn.
No, he was a scholar first, but not in a magical sense.
Scholar.
What do you want to know about him? The Dark Lord, because we actually know a little bit about him. We've read a book or lived a book, something weird.
What do you mean?
Carla, I don't know what you.
Yes. So, and in her head, she's going to hear, it's hard to speak plainly about this in case something beyond us is watching, but we should be safe communicating like this. We've read the journal of the Dark Lord, and we are slowly finding out pieces of his past as we decode it. We have a lot of information, and I know, despite what my companion might be giving off, none of us want what's happening here to be happening, and none of us want to stay here. So if two minds can work together to stop this, it would be better.
It stays quiet for an awful long time, but then an answer rings in your head, and she says, I would be very, very grateful if I could get any sort of information that close to the source from you. If you'd permit me to learn about what you've discovered so far, I will share what I know of this world with you, and if you have room for me, I would like to travel with you for a little while.
Yeah, give me a moment, and I'm going to message basically what she said to me to both John and Casariel, and just kind of wait to see like a yes or no with a nod.
She seems trustable, he says out loud.
I'm gonna respond with I don't know how the tome works, but perhaps she could read the next chapter with us.
And I'll give her the spark notes on the previous ones. Yes.
Okay.
Turn towards her and nod and say, yes, I think that would be agreeable. Have you found anything interesting in here? And Carla is going to do what she always does and raid the shelves for any form of information. She's looking for vampire, Strahd, anything related to everything that we've heard so far.
And Esmeralda will share with you that unfortunately, other than a book on the fanes of Barovia and a prayer book, which is rather like comparable to the one you've seen before in the church in Barovia, most of the books over here are either rotted away or broken and unusable. There's
Are there
nothing of value
1,003 things to do in Barovia here, though?
Unfortunately not.
Okay. Unfortunate.
Esmeralda, would you believe? I think it is fate that we've met.
Yes.
I know we cannot fully trust each other just yet. I understand. But I'm watching Carla raid this place. Like, just Carla's adorable. She's like going through things like while she's talking to Esmeralda, like it's no big deal. And for whatever reason, it always works. Like Carla can get away with it. It's amazing.
It's funny, right? Yeah.
She's like going through people's belongings. Like, so tell me about yourself. Nobody seems to mind. It's incredible. So I'm trying to distract her a little bit, but sincerely. What are you researching exactly? Would you mind telling us?
There are 100 different stories surrounding the Dark Lord. What he is not, how we can overcome him, how we can defeat him, how we can cure him. It is so hard to wrap my mind around this. Mind you, from what I gather, this has been going on for at least 800 years, so we have a lot of ground to cover.
Wow.
But I want to find out what is true and what is not, and I want to know if there is a way to defeat or overcome or put to rest the Dark Lord so this land can heal, get to rest, and my family and my people can get the life that they deserve.
Do you know Castamere?
Name is Casimir, John.
Casimir.
Please, he gave me a lovely dagger.
He's one of the Dusk Elves, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lovely fellow.
He lives with some Vistani outside of Vallaki. Or maybe the Vistani live with him. But
yes,
we've had conversations like this with them. If you wanted to talk to them too.
Yes. Centauri is over there as well, isn't he?
Oh, that rat bastard. Oh, ugh. I mean, you know, I just...
Is he the guy who did the dance off with
him.
with Cosario?
No, I like him, the other one, the one that was flirting with the teenager.
Oh,
Know
right.
him?
I didn't even...
Esmeralda?
I think I tripped him
Know
up
him?
one time by accident.
Do I what?
Do you know him?
She shows the subtlest hint of a blush.
Oh,
my.
yes. Let me tell you, okay? You think it's all fun and games with him, but then he will turn around and... Oh, never mind.
She turns to you, Carla, and she says, and then what? He turns around and then spills the beans on everything that he knows. Drastic situations call for drastic measures.
I
That's not what
tried
I
my
wanted.
best to get information out of him that way as well, but nothing. Clearly
She
more
shrugs at you and she
successful.
says, well, some are better at it than others.
Oh my.
Well, show me sometime, and then she's going to go into the next room if she can.
Esmeralda will remember that.
Hey.
Eric.
Okay, then.
Will you be joining us then?
If I'm allowed to, yes, I would love to.
I would love for you to join us.
Can you defend yourself?
Do you want to try me?
No, I don't really enjoy fighting at all overall. But I'd want to
I've
make sure
survived
that...
so far.
True, this place is kind of unforgiving. Have you seen a werewolf?
I've seen several.
You fought them?
Yes, once or
Okay.
twice.
I just don't want to... I want to know how much, Casariel and I and Carla have to protect you.
Based on the investigation or perception that Casario rolled earlier, Casario can definitely assess that she can hold her own based on what she looks like and the weapon she carries on her. As to John, you can roll for it if you want to, but you don't have that insight just yet because, well, you are John.
I asked her.
So I think you should
told me.
spar later before we sleep. I think it would be good fun for the two of you to...
She told
you
me.
could-
I trust her.
Of course you do. You darling.
All right. Well, if it's not too much effort, I will be with you. I won't be in your way all too much, but I will be with you.
Wonderful. Have you been other places here?
Oh, yes. I've been all over Barovia, really. I mean, I live here.
Oh, I mean, in the Abbey.
Oh, no, I went straight to the library that was really what I came for. Were you planning on looking around?
We're looking for a morgue. It's just also something of a mystery. I don't suppose you might know anything about him. We'll have to ask
Morgue?
Carla. She's yes, there was a headstone outside that said
Dead fears him. Dead him fears. Dead something dust.
Dead trusts him.
Trust. That's the one.
Carla
she'll
sticks
pop
her
on-
head back in the room.
Yeah, stick my head back in the room. It's death trusts him. I think it means sister something. It's... I'm going to
Deadhead?
actually show her the
Yep.
words, and I'm going to say, It's an anagram of some sort. We've made that out because it's just a little weird. So it has to be a clue to something. I've rearranged the words a couple of times. There was, so a couple of the anagrams I've come up with have been, something sister, maybe sister something, or dream shit dust, which I don't think works very well.
Esmeralda will laugh heartily at that. I don't think that's it either, but let's see if we can find something. The morgue, you said. I mean, this used to be... The Abbey used to be somewhat of a station for the wounded and whatnot during the war, so I imagine they have something like that in here. We can go and have a look.
Mm-hmm. Well, no time like the present. I already had a little route around and there's nothing in here of worth.
All right. After you. Out of game. This means you have... Oh, I don't have to remove her token just yet. This means that Esmeralda will travel with you until I say that she doesn't. That means that you have a fourth party member that will help you in fighting. She acts like a fighter. She is on par with you guys, level-wise. And she has a couple of tricks up her sleeve that you will learn as you go. I will play her role, but I will play her very much in the background and only chip in when it needs to be. Other than that, even if her token isn't around you, act as if her token is there, unless I specifically say that she isn't. Yeah?
Okay.
Basically, I will always drag the token with you just to be sure, but she probably won't actively interact with whatever you guys do.
I can't wait
this is a real relief. I've been feeling like such a third wheel recently.
I can't wait to introduce you to our pug. He's adorable.
A pug, you said?
Yes. He's not around right now. I'll show him to you later.
Sure.
John's so adorable. He immediately starts showing his toys, like when he meets someone new, just like a little kid. It's like, look what I've got. Look what I can do.
Pretty much.
Amazing.
Dear Lord.
This place looks disturbing.
As you walk into the next room over, you give me 1 second before you keep on moving. You see a rather spacious room that contains a whole bunch of bed frames of wrought iron arranged into 2 neat rows, and you see that everywhere cobwebs and bit of rotten mattresses are clinging to the frames. Along the south wall, there are 3 spaced doors. As you walk into this room, a soft, ghostly glow begins to appear. And in front of you, I imagine at this point, by the way, Casario, John, you were also in the room? I got paused it, but you guys were
yeah, we were following.
Well, right?
John was next to Esmeralda talking about the dog. He's going to show her.
Fair. There you go. As you step into the room, a soft glow and angelic music fills the room, and a scene unfolds in front of you. You see a couple of ghosts that are slowly beginning to appear. You see injured knights that are laying in the beds that are being cared for by the sisters and monks who rush back and forth. They're healing the injured and are comforting them during the Great War from centuries ago. You begin to hear prayers and cries of agony and desperation. 2 ghosts, sisters of the Abbey probably, enter together, arm in arm. You get a feeling that this might be Sister Markovia, the one who has blessed the waters down below. They radiate an aura and smile at the fallen and the injured. They raise their hands in unison and the room brightens. You are unable to see in front of you. And then as quickly as it brightens, it dims again. You only see Sister Markovia and the other sister remaining. And they're in the Abbey graveyard. Sister Markovia digs a grave as the other sister turns to you. You see the sorrow on her face as the spirit rises from the grave towards the sky. And as the spirit rises to the sky, The sky itself grows dark, and the spirit hovers just below the clouds, unable to go further, trapped in Barovia forever. The scene fades away, and the vision breaks as you look over the ruins again of an old hospital room.
Carla is going to pull out her crystal ball, her ghost detecting crystal ball, and kind of hold it up and see if she gets any activity as she sort of goes up and down here to see if either of those women are still here.
As you're walking around, you will notice that the needle that shows whether or not you have ghostly activity peaks when you get close to the upper and the lower door in the southern wall.
Did everybody else see
Sure.
that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
With the grave that she's digging, if I went down to the graveyard, could I recall it?
It'll be hard, but you can try.
Oh.
I mean, this was a vision that seemingly happened centuries ago. There's probably going to be a lot of people buried in the cemetery over the last centuries, but you can try.
Come on, Esmeralda. We probably need to stay together, and he'll move up near Casario.
I'm getting activity here and down below. So, you got that handy dandy coin on you? She's going to turn
Kazaro?
towards the two of them. That coin
Coin?
that you use to solve your arguments.
Oh,
I think Casario, I think you have her now.
I do. Of course I do. That coin. Obviously, I know that coin very well.
So the upper door is heads, the lower door is tails. Give it a spin.
Okay. I don't actually have a coin,
Right.
so I'm going to roll a d4
Well, I
and
do.
one.
No, go
Oh,
ahead.
wait. No, go ahead. Yeah, please. Please.
Do you
go
want me to
ahead.
throw it?
Yeah.
Because I have this really cool collectible coin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I do actually. I got a collectible coin from the Wizard of the Coast. There's only 9,995. I believe it's a really weird number made of them. It's really pretty.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. What do you want for your 20? Basically, heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. That is heads. So you will automatically succeed on whatever you wanted to roll for.
I was just going to take the upper or the lower door, and I'm going to go for the upper
Upper
then,
door.
if it's heads.
Upper. Yep.
All
That
right.
works too. All right.
I'll open the door and enter.
The door itself was already open. It's hanging in its hinges, basically. And as you walk in there, there is a feeling of death in the air here. A strange, foreboding feeling flows over you. You look down and briefly glimpse images of dead knights stacked upon one another. Perhaps not for you, Carla, but for the rest, a chill runs up your spine as you realize that you are standing in the morgue of the Abbey. Once used centuries ago during the Great War, you can imagine the hundreds, possibly thousands of bodies that rested here before burial. For the unnamed and unloved, a mass grave as the graveyards ran out of space. For a split second, all around you is silent, and then you hear.
Strahd is dying?
God must die.
Oh, I thought he said is dying. I was like, hey.
My work here is done.
We're good.
I'm just peeking in from the outside. Can I tell it's the morgue in there? And did we hear that when we're outside of the door?
You all three heard this whisper, whether or not you were in there or not.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
All right. Well,
Or
I'll go in.
each. Two.
If I
It's the anagram. Strahd must die.
really,
Yes.
that's the anagram.
It's the anagram.
How did we not get
Well, the
Strahd
latest
out of that?
Because we're in an Abbey. I'm thinking of him.
Wait, is it?
It fits.
Death, trust.
Well, we supposed to-
him. Letters are hard.
Is
Should
anybody
we have-
here? Sorry.
Oh yes, perhaps you should use your, you know.
Yes. Carol's gonna bust out the Ouija board.
Oh yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should come in here.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
act
walk
as
in
if
with-
everyone is in the room.
Yeah, I'll walk in
Okay.
Esmeralda.
Okay.
I don't like this place. The air feels heavier.
It's a good moment to use it.
Nice one.
Oh, okay. Rod must die. Is anybody here? Sister Markovia? You here?
Those are two questions.
Okay, I'm going to ask Sister Markovia, are you here?
The board remains unresponsive.
Is anybody here? Who are you? Star O-N.
Who's the Constance?
Sister Constance. Were you the other nun I saw in that vision whose soul stayed within Barovia? I'm so sorry for all that you've seen. We are here investigating bodies that have been taken recently. Do you know who's taking them? Was it you? What did you mean? Strahd must die. Do you know how to kill him?
You notice an energy in the token, but the token stays in the same place.
Is the abbot dangerous?
I hope it's moving to the right direction. If it isn't, I will explain. No, that's not the right one. All right, it moved to the star in the middle between yes and no.
Oh, okay. D, what does it mean?
It's dangerous is a matter of perspective as well.
Oh, you're here.
Something interesting is finally happening.
Go die. Oh God, what else can I ask? What are we looking for? What are we looking for?
We're looking for sword. Looking for
Gems.
gems.
Do you know where? Do you know if the gems can defeat Strahd? No.
But does that mean does she know, or does that mean that she knows that they won't?
Would you like to clarify? They won't, or you don't know? Oh dear.
You guys aren't helping with the questions.
I know, I'm really literally the second we actually get something important, I have nothing. I'm so just elated to figure out the puzzle. Oh god.
Just a question from my side, because you guys know how a Ouija board works, right? Like you have to hold your hands on this token for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Who's holding the token at the moment?
Carla is always the one who's holding it.
And just Carla.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you know why souls get trapped here? Okay. Oh, I'm getting nothing from her. Gems. Do you know
we
anything?
can contact her another time if we need.
Yeah.
When we figure out.
Not figure. I and help. You can help? How can you help? E-R-A-V-E.
Grave. Oh, dig up the grave with anagram on it.
The Strahd
you
must
might have-
die, grave.
I think you might
If we
have to
dig
say it
that up.
loud.
This seems more up Daskaloo's alley.
What's it marked by? Whose grave do we dig up? What's their name? Yours.
Oh, I see.
Hmm.
Ask her if there's anything else in the Abbey that we should find before we do that.
Is there anything else here worth noting in the Abbey? Anything that could help us?
You feel the token moving towards the letter T, and then all of a sudden,
Watching this.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Well,
Really do need to be
Perhaps we-
prepared when I'm going to do those. I'm just chit-chatting. Thank you for your help, Kazariel.
oh, I didn't know how much help I was, but I'm gonna just look over at Escher.
Oh, I feel so
Lift my brow.
underappreciated. Well, you didn't expect me to miss out on some of the more disgusting aspects of your job. Your life.
We're going
I
to make
guess.
you personally dig up that grave. Those big, strong arms.
Oh, that'll be fine.
Hmm.
I've always been interested in exhumation. Did you want to check the other? I feel like you had another whatever that thing that you're holding is. Did something down here?
Oh yes, the ball.
Esther's just gonna
The
peek into
farmost
this room.
door here, right?
Esther's gonna peek
Is
into
this
this
the
yeah.
one?
Sorry.
The lower one is the one where you got a reading, and if Escher looks into the middle one, you'll notice that this is a room with another state of complete disarray. But you would be able to discern that the wreckages that you see over here are old cribs. It seems to be, or used to be, a nursery.
Kept the nursery next to the morgue. Interesting choice.
Carla will open the door and go inside here.
She opened up the door. The room itself smells absolutely foul. There's a large table in the middle of the room. And you see body parts and dry, bloody cloths that are strewn about the room. The room seems to have been used for either an operations or torture. It dawns on you that this must be the room that the abbot might have used to perform his creation. In the window still, you see a black raven.
I'll message it.
You don't have to. The window is broken. It's like on the inside.
I think she wants to communicate with it, though.
I mean, that's still fine. Sure.
You're like, Martikov, which one are you?
The raven flies inside towards the corner of the room, transforms into a human. And she looks at you and she says, not one of the Martikovs. Muriel. Vinch.
Oh.
I'm gonna look at Escher and I'm gonna say, stay out there.
No, I feel like you're having a very interesting time right now.
I use thaumaturgy to close the door.
I won't lock it.
Because either way, John or Escher is going to make this worse. Yeah. Hello, Muriel. What do we owe the pleasure?
Just doing my rounds, making sure to keep an eye on the various locations around us. Especially now that our predicament has gotten larger. How are you faring?
We're caught up in all the things we shouldn't be, as per usual. We're currently looking for someone who's been snatching bodies from graves in Kresk. You wouldn't happen to have any intel, would you?
No, I've just been looking for the green gem. You guys were going for the green gem on Yester Hill, but unfortunately we didn't hear anything back from you. It's good to see that you're still alive.
We did
But
pop
we're-
back to you, to the Martikovs, to explain that it was destroyed.
I wasn't
within-
there. I must have missed that.
Yeah, we didn't recover the gem. So sorry. But we stopped the druids. They won't attack your family any longer,
That's
which has to be about, well, not your family, but your allies. We met some cousins of yours, the wonderful bird. We're ravens within the tower.
Yes. I mean, it's not that I don't appreciate your efforts, of course, but like it won't matter in the grand scheme of things now that the gem is non-recoverable. You see, the Wizard of Wines is wilting, and we will not be able to produce wine for the next year. And since it's the last winery in the area, I'm afraid that this will be the end for any form of wine in Barovia. Which is not on you, of course. I understand you tried your best. We're just going to have to find a different means of occupation for the family that is left. You did hear what happened to Vallaki, right?
We heard that Ernst is now taking over the Blue Water Inn. But
Yes.
only in rumors. We haven't managed to see it yet.
Ernst managed to get to the Burgermeister and expose our family's secret. You've met with the Burgermeister before, or, well, you've heard of him at least, and you've heard of how he is towards anything that is out of the ordinary. And once he heard that the Martikov family is not human, he rounded them up and he executed them.
Oh my goodness. I'm
The
so
whole
sorry.
family is gone. The women,
If you want
the men, and the children.
your own back on Ernst, we have some gossip on him that you might be able to bring to the Burgermeister.
I'm afraid I'm no longer welcome in Vallaki either, but I'm still curious to hear what you have.
He ran a brothel underneath the publishing house called the Blooming Rose.
For his reporting on the Marticle family, in turn, he wanted to have exclusive rights to use the Blue Water Inn and to run the brothel, and the Burgermeister allowed that. Unfortunately, this is old news.
I'm so sorry. We are situated in a mansion near Vallaki. If you ever need a place to go or a person to drop information off to, we will help in whatever way we can.
I will
At least we could
remember that. Thank you. I think I must be going.
Yes. Keep an eye out for anything snatching bodies. We are still looking for that.
I will. Take care.
Too.
She turns into a raven and flies off.
I'll open the door again. What happened?
Escher had his ear pressed against the door. Sounds like trouble in Vallaki. Oh no.
Come down here, Escher. Come down here. Ask him to lean down. I'm going to say, John did rat them out, but I would feel really bad about doing this to him, so I'm going to do it to you instead, and I'm going to give him, like, a slap.
Oh.
Can you even do damage unarmed?
No.
Okay, so it'll be a 0.
It's for the principle of just, like,
Which is fair.
Yeah. And as
Always-
Esmeralda approaches, he just sort of looks up and goes, "Oh, drama. You're finding so much." He looks back over at Carla and Kazaro. Drama in this world.
You give me the impression of a theatre queen, so, drama queen. So it's, right up your alley.
I
Now.
prefer more of a puppet stage.
Mhm. I was gonna just leave. We do still need to check for those bodies before we go digging up any graves.
I just follow Carla.
Is there a tower here that we've noticed? Like, is there any bit that's taller than...
No, this seems to be the top floor.
Aside from the belfry over above the abbot.
Yeah, that's on the other side, but on this side, there doesn't seem to be anything that is higher.
Okay. What about this big negative space right here?
Hey, we have to go through the wall.
Does
I
your,
bet.
does your character see that?
Well, I mean, she's a smart cookie.
You haven't noticed any door that leads there. However, you've also not been on the wall, so who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're going downstairs?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
I believe we're currently afraid of the wall.
Heather's going to post up here, put her hands on her hips, turn to the rest of the group and go, "There's a lot of fucking doors here. How about we all take one, open it, and deal with the consequences afterwards, yes?"
Yes, you could just look in and not enter,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Esmeralda steps in and she says, "We can do that, but these are probably the pens where those creatures live. I mean, can't you smell that?" And as you look towards the hall, there is this barnyard type of smell that is coming from this hallway.
Mm.
The entire thing.
Oh yes, there's quite a few of them. I mean,
I believe
they have
one of-
latches on the door. You can look in if you want, but
I believe one of these was your room for the night, Casario.
Asha, I don't know if you know this, but I don't like you. So keep trying me. If you'd like.
I'm just stating the obvious.
You made a friend, and your magnanimity, your magnanimity is not required.
It's good to know
Aren't
that
you a
men
bard?
John struggle with big words.
Escher didn't struggle with
Aren't you
that, Daniel did.
supposed to be some sort of bard? Some sort of wordsmith, some sort of charming creature.
So
Certainly does
canonically,
not translate.
he definitely didn't mess that word up.
I still say that though, even if you didn't mess it up.
Well, what's at the end?
How
I
did
wonder-
you manage? How did you manage to ensnare a king? Anyway, Escher, I've never asked you this before. What is it about you that our Lord finds so attractive?
As much as I'd like to take credit for the ensnaring, I seem to be the one ensnared at the moment.
Really?
And I resent every second of it.
Do you? Well, you shouldn't have told me that, darling, should you have?
You would have known if you were half as clever as you think you are. All of us
We'll see.
may have our grandiose ideals and beliefs and dreams, but one is pulling the strings. And we need to find a way to sever them. Or at the very least, take control ourselves.
You know what? I'm just going to do it. Just a quick note. I gave John some pointers on how Escher works, basically, and we would just see how that was going to roll story-wise. And if it would be like grotesquely out of place, I would jump in and be like, well, no, Escher probably would have said this. So far, this is so on point with what I had in my mind. And for what you've just said, that is 100% how Escher is. You get inspiration for that. Holy shit, that is so good.
As they're saying this, Carla's going to kind of lean next to Esmeralda and be like, I imagine this is quite strange. Don't worry, he just has a personality disorder. Different height situation.
Do you ever feel like you're in control here, Casariel? Like you make the choices? You ever feel like you're being led down the path?
Sariel's going to just lean forward and whisper into Escher's ear. I'd love to tell you the answer to that, but I'm bored. And she's just going to walk past him.
Awesome. So how do you want to do this hallway? Do you just want to go room by room, or there's latches on the door that you can look inside? What do you want to do?
Just look inside if there's any funky dunky dead bodies as opposed to just funky dunky alive bodies. That's what Carla's looking for.
All right. I will just give a blanket approach to all of the rooms over here, and you can choose and pick what you want. All of the rooms have some mongrel folk in them. There's no dead bodies per se. Going room by room, there is a room with a couple of kids in there that are arguing over a piece of broken furniture.
Mm-hmm.
There is a room full of bones where one mongrel folk is seemingly very busy with them. There's another room with some playing children in there. There's a room where a mongrel is praying. Those are the first four. Do you want to do anything with those?
No.
None whatsoever?
Do any of them have interesting appendages?
I mean, they all do, but it's an array. It's an array spread.
Yeah, the only thing Carla's going to be looking for is those bodies, so if it's not immediately in any of these rooms, she's just going to move on.
Okay.
I don't know what the other ones want to do, but that's her mindset right now is, I have a mystery, I gotta hunt it.
Yeah. But Sariel's pretty sure that Carla will let her know if there's anything terrifying in one of those rooms, so she's just going to wait back here.
Cool. For the last four, and I'm going clockwise, starting with the lowest left one. You have a person that is doing an incantation, it seems, by candlelight. There's two that are seemingly guarding some sort of food store. There's one by itself that seems to have built a hut inside the room. And there's one that seems to have been working in some sort of nursery makeshift. And at the end of the hallway, there's a door.
Pop over to the one doing the incantation and say, sorry, what are you doing?
As you look inside, you see a pair of candles that is burning in the center of the room, and there's a single mongrel folk that is wrapped in a black cloak that is staring intensely into the flames, ignoring you and your calling out. The mongrel folk is whispering something under their breath, and there's an open book lying in front of them on the floor.
I am going to cast Mage Hand in that room to pick up the book. And bring it to me, because I can see in there.
Okay. As you pick up the book, the mongrel folk notices that the book is gone and looks up at the door. And as he looks up at the door, you notice that he is blind in one eye. Part of his face looks like a wolf. The other part looks like a rat. And his hands are a combination between a squid on one side, and the other side is just a human hand, but the fingers are feathers. He looks at you, lifting up the book, and a single tear drops from his eye.
What are you
The
doing?
book. He looks at you, and he mouths a couple of words at you, but no sound is coming out of his mouth.
Because I have Mage Hand going, I can't message, so what I'll do is I'll bring the book closer to see if I can read what's on it.
The book itself says Brother Merlin's Book of Spells, and if you quickly flip through it, there's just some basic cantrips in here. Guidance, lights, and thaumaturgy. Nothing more.
I send it back his way, and I say, for guidance, put your all into it. Everything. It'll get you far.
He puts his hands, or lack thereof, back together again, and with a smile on his face, he continues praying.
Alrighty. I'll pop over to the hut guy. I'm like, hello.
From the hut, a single mongrel folk pops his head out if you say hello to him. He looks at you and he says, the old hermit saw with his own eyes. Yes, he did. He saw what they did.
What did they do?
He saw them dig where they should not. Old hermit told them it's bad to dig there, but they did not listen.
Oh, who was they?
The diggers tell the old hermit to leave. The abbot sent them to dig.
Oh, did he send them into Kresk to dig?
The old hermit knows that it's not right. Not right, the old hermit says, but they do not listen.
Oh my goodness, who's the old hermit? Is that you? Are you the old hermit?
The old hermit knows what they dig for. Yes, I know what they dig for. They dig for dead parts, but the old dead parts are not good for eating.
Do you eat dead parts often?
I not eat dead parts. I eat vegetables. The old hermit eats vegetables. We all eat vegetables. We do not eat dead parts.
But who eats dead parts here? Say that
Nobody eats dead parts. We don't eat them. We don't eat them. You don't eat dead parts. They're not good for eating.
Okay, so the abbot sent diggers. Who are the diggers? Do you know their names? Do they have a name like Old Hermit?
The old hermit saw, but the old hermit warned, and they did not listen.
They look like those diggers have special. Did one of them have a goat leg?
They look like family.
Okay. Okay, he's crazy. He's crazy, but we are in the right place, I think. I'm going to turn to the rest of them. Say that. Thank you, old hermit.
There's no reaction for that.
Okay. I'm going to just enter the hallway and be like, there's
that I could gather that is actually quite important here, but it's confirmed that maybe it must have been the mongrel folk that dug them up. And it might have been the abbot that asked for it. Carla then is just going to open this door.
Okay. You open the door. A blast of cold wind hits you as you apparently are stepping outside again. Beyond the door, there is a garden. And the garden seems to be surprisingly well maintained. There is a light dusting of snow over some of the ground, and there is a lone mongrel folk that is tending to the crops with a hoe and with a spade. There's a couple of rabbits here that scurry as you walk into the garden, but otherwise nothing seems out of the ordinary here.
Carla's okay. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. All right. I think as Carla's walking through, the only thing she's going to look for is like weird dirt, like weirdly raised dirt of somewhere someone might have put something.
Give me an investigation check.
That is a 24. Oh, no, 22. Sorry.
The dirt itself is raised in that telltale pattern of a vegetable garden. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. The lone mongrel folk that is digging the garden over here also doesn't seem too out of place. He's just busy tending the crops. His face looks like half of what you think might be a giraffe or something, and the other half seems to be lizard-like. Both of his hands seem to be human, however, his legs are different. One of his legs is almost like a lion, and the other one looks like a goat.
But it was specifically like I had a boot and a stump when I was looking at the passion away from the grave, right?
That is what you remember.
It's the innkeeper man. It's the innkeeper man.
It's gotta be him because I don't think it's hair. Oh.
I'll wait if Carla comes back because Kasariel's not about this life. She's on edge. She's clearly on edge. She's never scared, but she's freaking scared in this place. Carla, could you maybe ask one of your friends? Are there tombs here? You know, the Ouija board said tea was the other thing to discover here. It could be underground tombs. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does actually. That makes a lot of sense. Let's first look over at the graveyard. It'll be easier to pick up any of my friends over there. They tend to like to stay around wherever they died. Oh, we're
maybe
late
even
rest.
just one of these folk. The one in this last room seemed to know quite a bit.
Oh, the mongrel. You think those are my friends? Okay, well.
I don't know who's in that. I didn't see. I don't want to know. I've seen all I needed to see in that well.
I'll go. I'll ask the one that the other ones didn't seem that sane, so I'll ask the other one, the one here, and I'll pop up to the gardener, and I will start up just like a conversation with him. I'll be like, "Oh, hello.
I didn't do it.
What didn't you do?" And she's going to go, "Didn't you do?" And she'll put her hand on his chest and she'll cast Charm Person.
Okay, what's my saving throw on that?
DC 15 Wisdom.
Yeah, that's a 3.
What didn't you do?
Very wise.
Come on, tell me. I know you know. It's really good to get stuff off your chest. It can really bog down the day if you're keeping everything bottled up inside. Look at Kasariel. She's so stressed because she doesn't talk about her feelings ever.
I didn't want to dig up the bodies. I don't like doing that. I prefer to just work in the garden.
What bodies did you dig up? Were there ones in Kresk?
Mm-hmm.
By the Burgermeister's house.
What's a Burgermeister?
The big fancy house with the man with the big fancy hat.
You mean the abbot?
Something. No, more like, and I'm going to point back to Escher wearing the hat. Like that one.
The big gentleman with the large stick? No, I've never been to his house.
You've never been to his house, and not behind it either.
Not mine, you moron. She's talking about the leader of the town.
The abbot. You confuse me.
Oh, so Kresk, the village that's down by the Abbey, you dug up down there?
Yes.
Yes. And did you dig up a young girl's body? Okay. Is there, like, off the top of my head, would I think there's more graveyards than what we just saw down there?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, while you were moving through the village, you might have noticed that the village doesn't have a singular graveyard. The Abbey does, but the village has like family graveyards in the backyards of all the houses.
When did you dig them up? Was it recently? Was it a couple nights ago? Okay. All right. Why did you do it? Did the abbot tell you to?
Yeah, but it's okay because he said it.
Lovely. Is he going to make you do it again?
I think not. For now, he is done with the experimenting.
Okay. Well, I mean, continue on with your work.
Sure.
Do you feel better?
Do you want a
after
potato?
telling
And he
someone?
like digs up a potato for you.
You sure? Do you have any apples?
You see him just looking around at distinctly 0 apple trees, and he says, "No."
Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna tuck away the potato into my bag, and I'm gonna be like, Bagman, darling, do you want to try one of these?
No.
Well,
I am not
all right.
Irish. I have to make it.
This is a hate crime, and I'm hating it. I'll just throw the fucking potato in my bag. Why not? It's basically a trash can at this point. And Carla's going to skip hoppily doodly dop down to the bottom of this, just blank-eyed until she's like, I don't... If the abbot... And she's going to turn to Kazara. She's going to be like, if the abbot is some huge celestial being that can possibly Frankenstein dead bodies together in a way that's distinctly not like our old friend, I don't think we're going to be able to take him. At least not today.
I'm going to turn to Esmeralda and I'm going to say, you said you do not trust. Can you tell us anything more about him? Perhaps not here, if you think it's not safe. We do have a way to speak privately.
I'm not sure if my previous teacher would like what I'm about to share with you, but I have a feeling that I can trust you. And not far from here, there is a place that perhaps I can bring you to that might offer some more answers. It's been a while since I've been there, but maybe.
Perfect. Can we sleep there?
I imagine so, yes.
Perfect. All right.
Let's go dig up that sister's grave so we can figure out whatever she wanted us to figure out. And that's just what
I'm gonna look at Carla as we're leaving and kind of like we talked about, just like touch my medallion.
I'll open up a connection in her mind and be like, hello.
We should tell Esmeralda not to mention anything around Esha. We should make her aware.
Privately, though, I think right now might be a very poor time.
Yes, but
yeah,
perhaps you could message her and let her know. It would be betraying her trust because there is a member of our party that obviously, is not one of
Yes.
us.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
I'll leave it to you
drop
then.
the connection there and open up one with Esmeralda. And I'll be like, just a point of note. I know I said he had a bit of a personality disorder earlier. It's a bit more complex. We'll get into it later, but any information you have, share it through this means, as opposed to out loud. For the time
How can I
being.
know that How can I
Oh.
let you know?
Mention that Vistani fellow we both seem to have spent the night with. I'll know then to open up a connection.
All right.
I shoulder check John as I walk by.
For one so graceful, you would think you wouldn't be so clumsy.
No, I meant to hit you. I don't like you.
Oh my
My
god.
feelings are hurt, darling.
You come back to the grave that says dead trusts him.
No, saying Strahd must die. I'll say that first over the grave. Be like, Strahd must die.
You say that while you're standing there?
Yeah.
Okay. As you say that, standing close to the grave, you hear something that I will tell you after the break. Hello, everybody. We are back from our break. For those of you that joined us on Discord, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. So where were we before the break? You guys dived into the cellar of the Abbey and went up to the belfry. You walked through the other side of the Abbey. You visited the morgue, got a secret message over there. Saw a couple of other rooms and met Esmeralda, who will stick with you for the time being as a extra companion to your party.
Did John find something?
You think? I'm sorry?
Did John find something?
I don't know. Did John find something?
We talked about a possible retcon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot to mention when you were in the hospital area, there is an item to be found over there, which is a small bag of powdered silver, which John would have picked up, and I totally forgot to mention that. So it's a bit of a retcon, but John now has a little bag of powdered silver.
Yeah, and John recognizes this substance as something that that he was taught to use in ceremonies during his training as a paladin, and his friend Bartholomew was quite the prodigy in performing ceremonies. So he watched and trained with Bartholomew quite often when they were growing up.
Correct. So you now have that with you. You can add it to your inventory if you haven't done so already. As to the anagram that you guys found on the grave when you went over to the gravestone of Sister Constance, and you spoke the words, Strahd must die, over the tombstone, you hear a latch opening up in the gravestone itself. It's on the backside of the stone, and I imagine you take a look what just opened.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's a very small compartment, but in that small compartment, there is a ring.
I love jewelry.
The ring itself has inscriptions that seem to be celestial.
I'll take it in my hands and I'll cast Identify.
Okay. The ring is a ring of regeneration. And while you are wearing this ring, you will regain 1d6 hit points every 10 minutes. Provided that you have at least one hit point. And if you lose a body part, this ring will cause the missing part to regrow and return to full functionality after 1d6 plus 1 days, if you have at least 1 hit point the whole time.
Oh, wow.
This is a very special artifact.
That is bonkers. I'll relay that information to Casario in her head. I'll message her and I'll be like, I figured out what this is done. Doing what?
What does it do? Oh, you just told me. Yes. Oh. Yes, I recognize the writing on it. It's in a language I can comprehend. Interesting.
Pass it to her then. And take it. Better in your hands than mine.
Why do you think that?
I have a lot of things attuned to me at the moment, and this looks like one of those things that needs attuned.
Well,
It does.
Rather inundated with magical objects. I think this might be safer and better in your hands. Or on your
perhaps
hands.
when I'll take it. Perhaps when we're alone and our friend is no longer with us, we could see if John can wear it as well.
Very well. Is that all that I find in the compartment?
Yep, it's a very small compartment. There was just this one ring in there.
Is this the only thing that's here? When I look at the dirt in front of the grave, does it look like fresh or recently dug up, or is it still look untouched?
Centuries old.
Centuries
It's
old.
basically almost flat.
Stand up and look at Escher / John and say, "You did offer."
Of course. I can give it a go. I'm gonna... do I have a shovel? I don't think I have a shovel. I'm gonna look around a little bit. Is there a shovel in the area that just seems sticking out of one of the graves?
There's not.
I guess we're doing it this way. Do I have it? Oh.
I have a shield.
I actually have a shield as well, but it's always, he never uses it because it's two-handed. He'll take out the shield and basically like just shift the dirt and scoop it and pull it.
Okay. So, just for my verification, you guys are using a makeshift tool to unearth a sacred grave of a sister that has in incorporeal form just helped you to solve a puzzle, and not only that, but also give you a magical ring that'll basically keep you alive for the foreseeable future.
You have heavily implied through the narrative. This is what we should.
Well, when you say it like that,
I think what we needed was from the back of the tomb, or the back of the tombstone, rather than within the corpse. But Escher is more than capable of obliging.
Fair. Give me a strength check.
Come on, don't fail me now. I just said don't fail me. I had 10.
The ground is very cold and very frosted over, and it's hard to dig. You barely managed to scrape some grass off of this grave.
Let me try something. Hang on. And then you see an array of strings bigger than John has ever, like, every once in a while John does something where you see these like ethereal strings that he sort of grabs or pulls on to make an effect. An array of strings just opens up around him, and just a whirlpool of these strings sort of slide together and cause almost like sparks to shower, and he uses prestidigitation to warm the ground in front of him. Heat it up.
Okay, sure.
And then he's going to take the shield, put it on the ground, and then use his mace to like try to slam it in to wedge it down.
I'll give you one more strength check with advantage on that.
Yay!
Okay, that is a 14.
You, with much more ease, unearthed Sister Constance's grave, who did nothing wrong, did nothing to deserve this. Parts of her bones still remaining in the cold, dead earth. There is no treasure here. There are only losers.
Sister. He nods at her corpse.
It's not even a corpse here anymore. It's just bits of
Bones.
bone. Yeah.
Oh, that's what she wanted us to do.
Oh.
Tariel, do you know any like burial rites that we could give as we cover this back up?
Certainly. I do. I
We'll
will
cover it back up and do.
start burying her again as I am not quite a temple priestess, as I have mentioned before. I'm much better at murdering things. But I will try to speak a few words kindly. That's
As Esmeralda is standing here, just leaning on one of the gravestones as this is happening and looking at this, and she's like, not sure if she deserved that.
We thought she was
I know you
wanting us to
speak
do
up.
that from the what we
There.
heard. That's on us.
They're digging up graves in town. Turnabout is fair play.
we should leave.
All right, I guess.
Everyone makes mistakes, you know?
Interesting of you to admit that.
Just... she just
I'm
fucking
sure.
hates Usher.
I'm sure your mother would disagree.
I walk up to him. I'm gonna punch him right in the fucking nose as hard as I can. I run and I punch him as hard as I fucking can in the nose.
He's gonna try to block you if he can.
Okay, do it.
Make an opposing strength check. If you lose, you take a damage.
Alrighty.
Oh, saloon be with me because yikesers on my strength.
Can I offer her guidance?
Okay.
No.
Oh.
I got a 13.
Yeah,
We're not
I
picking-
I
get it.
rolled low.
I got a 15. I got a 15. I got a 15. I got a 15.
You got a higher? Okay, you punch her for 1 damage.
I got a 16 minus 1.
Oh.
You can do some damage to my toy so long as you don't break it entirely.
I'm gonna grab him by the cloak and I'm gonna say, "Don't you ever, ever fucking mention my mother ever again." Shove him off, and I'm just gonna walk out of the abbey.
You guys want to leave?
I'm walking out
Yep. I'll
because Kasarl can't kill John, but she wants to kill this guy.
Is there anything you guys want to do in Kresk, or do you also want to leave Kresk altogether?
Carla would like to pop into the Burgermeister and say some lies. She's going to go to him.
Did we have something to talk to the tavern owner about, or did we already
No.
talked to him about Daskler? Never mind.
After a brisk walk down the mountain, you come back into the village of Kresk, and here you are.
Well, I'm up into the Burgermeister's house to chat to him, and I'll look at the other two and I'll be like, "Wait here. Wait outside. I'll deal with this."
Okay.
Hello, Kriskoff. We've just returned from our investigation into the Abbey.
Ah, yes.
Um,
How did it go?
Unfortunately, we were unable to recover your daughter, but the issue has been dealt with.
Were our suspicions right?
Well,
Is there a dark presence up there?
Yes, but it's no longer an issue. The details are quite gory. I would hate
city of Kresk, the village of Kresk, should be safe from the Abbey for the moment, but if anything pops up again, you contact us immediately. As for, I do need to warn you though, you are aware of the werewolves outside of your town, yes?
Yes, how did you learn of them?
We encountered some. They attacked our group as we went towards the Abbey.
Within
managed
the
to deal with them.
walls?
I'm not sure what constitutes as the walls of Kresk, but it was on a path. They were scouting, presumably to make an attack, but we've managed to abate them slightly as well. Though I would be extra cautious and I would send your top guards around to just doubly make sure that everything's okay. We will do our best to deal with that as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I will. I imagine the wolves can climb the mountain and surpass the walls like that. I will take care of this. Thank you, Carla.
Of course. Thank you as well for your hospitality here and your willingness to let us back in. We will be heading towards Vallaki now, as some business is taking us away. But if you ever need to contact us, there's a manor just outside Vallaki where all of our missives will be sent. We'll eventually get to them.
I will. Good luck on your travels and be safe out there. Thank you for your efforts.
One last thing. Have you ever heard of a legend of a sword made of the sun? Quite far-fetched, I know, but...
There is a story of a family member of Strahd that, against the odds, actually joined the Order of the Morning Lord. And upon joining, he was given a sword made by, as the story goes, a dragon and a wizard. And the sword would be pure sunlight. I feel this is metaphorically, but this does sound like what you are referring to.
Wouldn't happen to know where it might be laying in this land if it's real.
Perhaps with this so-called family member. It's a tradition to bury those that carry weapons with their weapons, but other than that, a sword of pure sunlight is impossible. So I imagine this is just a figure of speech.
Understandable. Thank you again so much, and please take care. I am incredibly sorry that I could not give you the peace that you deserve by bringing your daughter home.
It is fine. Good luck out there, and be safe.
You too. And she will pop outside to them. And just kind of look at Kasariel and nod for them to go.
All right.
Sariel is pacing back and forth out here, just talking herself down from punching John again. Asher, aka John again.
We'll fetch the horses. Who do you want to ride with, Esmeralda? Sorry, did you miss that? Yes, we have 3 horses.
Oh, that's wonderful. Whichever can carry me. I'm fine with walking too.
It would be faster if you're there. I mean, I am the smallest, and I think I carry the less physical space, technically. I'll hold up the bag of holding a little bit, so, hop on, Watson, and we'll head off.
Done. Let's do that.
We'll hop on our horses and head towards Vallaki.
Awesome.
What was my horse's name again?
It was
Dave.
Dave.
Just
Dave. Just Dave. Just Dave.
Yeah.
Yep. Just Dave.
And then there's Sitara and Watson.
When, so
before we left, when you walked out, when Carla walks out, I imagine that Casariel's, pacing, but oddly, Escher is almost like looking up at the sky and just letting the snow hit his face, and every once in a while he's actually catching a snowflake and just sort of marveling in the outside world.
Interesting.
Cold.
Sitara and Casariel are giving Escher dirty looks. Both of us now.
You and your animal bonds. I love it.
Actually, Sitara shoulder checks just Dave. That's fine.
What did just Dave do?
What did just Dave do?
Just Dave is
You're right. Now I feel
innocent
bad.
in this.
Okay, she whips her tail up at Escher as we run by.
Escher's able to ride, but he's a little less sure of himself on the horse than John was.
Oh, good.
Exploring a decrepit abbey is not very interesting to you, but riding a horse is.
Getting out and about is always a new experience.
Allowed to go on evening walks near the castle. Oh, how terrible.
What do you do there?
As you
Whatever
cross
I
the
need
river,
to.
Esmeralda will at some point to the left and say, if we have the time, I would like to bring you down this path. A little ways away from here is an old wizard's tower. I'm not sure where the wizard that once built it or inhabited it is, but my teacher and I have been at this tower quite a few times, and there is some knowledge there to be gained, if you will. I'm not sure if it's useful for you, and I haven't been there in a little while, but perhaps we can have a look.
It's been on our list, so let's get going. And Carla will lead off the path towards the wizard's tower then.
All right.
Oh, that is just quaint.
Isn't it?
What a tower.
As you go down this mountain road, you come to a cold mountain lake that is enclosed by, of course, the mist, and some rocky bluffs that you see in the background. This thick fog creeps across the dark, still waters, and the trail that you're following ends at a grass-covered causeway that stretches up about 100 yards across the lake to a flat, marshy island with a stone tower on it. The tower is old and decrepit, with collapsing scaffolds clinging to one side where a large gash has split the wall. Time-worn griffin and devil statues. Their wings are flanking the sides that are covered with moss, are perching atop buttresses that support the walls. You see some rotting wooden beams that are supporting the scaffolding, which are groaning and creaking with the slightest breeze. There's a series of ladders and platforms that lead to a hole in the northwest wall to the third floor. Near the base of the tower, you see a barrel-topped wagon spattered with mud.
Well, would you like to lead the way? Carla will say, turning to Esmeralda.
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, that wagon, that used to be mine. Please don't open it.
Is there something wrong in there?
Well, in a way. Let's just say that a girl like me needs to be careful out here.
Oh, you have it trapped.
If you were to open that without knowing how to open it, you would spring a trap and about 100 flasks of alchemist fire would ignite altogether. it wouldn't be a happy sight.
Understandable. You are incredible. Wouldn't have thought of that myself.
And you just left it out here unattended. I like your style.
Well, Carla, as you approach the tower, there's a door at the front of the tower. Surprise, surprise. The door itself looks, in contrast to the rest of the tower, relatively intact. What's interesting is that there isn't a lock on the door, but instead, there is a metal plate covering the middle of the door.
Can I try and move it to the side?
The plate itself is stuck.
Okay. The things on it kind of look like stick figures, so Carla's gonna try and like copy the motions in front of the door.
Go ahead.
Okay, like T-pose, box, T-pose but down, like that. Little this, little of that, little of this, little of that.
Sariel just looks at Escher, shockingly. Like, what was she?
Do anything?
Escher's actually looking at the wagon, so I'll let you guys do what your thing is. But
If that did nothing, then she's just going to reach out and try and knock on the door.
So, as you're doing this, can I just say that is an amazingly quick find? It's not that hard of a puzzle, but you immediately was like, oh, wait, hang on, let me just do this.
Is that right?
The door opens.
It took
love
me.
it. Love it.
It took me a whole. I couldn't
So
even
you
figure
just
out the last
basically
one.
do the robot and it opens.
Yeah, and it's like
Okay, cool.
The Macarena.
down, left, right. Yeah.
That's exactly
Up, down,
it.
That's right.
And if you follow the entire pattern, just line to line, then the door opens. That's exactly what it is.
Love it.
Brilliant. I would expect nothing less from our Carla.
It's amazing, honestly. I would have thought, like, well, this is going to take him like 10 minutes. Nope.
Oh yeah, it would have taken me longer than 10.
It's like if nothing else, we get a funny moment of me doing the robot. That's it. Okay. Oh, well, incredible.
And Esmeralda is standing there with a big grin on her face saying, you did that quicker than I imagined.
Did you have to do it yourself?
I know how this works. My master told me.
Ah. Alrighty then. And she'll pop inside confidently after being complimented by a beautiful woman.
And you run into a red curtain.
Bagman.
Yes.
Fun little treat for you, and I'll kind of leave the bag next to the curtain for him to munch on.
You
For
see
a
like the
moment.
curtain very slowly being drawn into the bag.
Wrap it up once it's gone. Oh,
Beyond the curtain, there is the basis of the tower. The basis itself seems to be relatively, well, unkept. It's strewn with debris. There's a few old crates and stuff all around. And you notice that in the middle of the room, there is a carpet nailed to a board of wood. On each of the corners, there is a chain attached to the wood and the carpet, respectively. The chain itself goes all the way up through the ceiling, and then a second chain next to it comes down again. That second chain is held by 4 individual clay golems that are standing there motionless.
It's an elevator.
Oh, must be. Wait, how do you know that word? It's not from our world.
All right, what's an elevator? It's a lift.
It's an
Oh.
up a fire.
Because obviously the British are from Dungeons and Dragons.
Very much so. Mhm.
It's an up a
I'll
fire.
turn back to. There
I
are
love this.
exactly 2 D&D podcasts that I've listened to where like elevators are such a huge part of it, and I cannot
I cannot make this the same. I'll turn to Esmeralda and be like, "Is this another puzzle, or just, as Kazariel said, a lift?"
She grins at the three of you and she says, "Why don't you try it out?"
You know who would love to try this out? And I'm going to call forward Boo, my tiny little unseen servant. My last first level spell slot. And I'm going to go, "Why don't you go and step on that carpet for me? Lovely little thing."
There he is.
No reaction?
No.
Carla will basically tell him to like go float around and like poke their faces and see if anything happens.
Nothing happens.
Is it possible to see if we got during our ride here a short rest? Is that something that
I will eat. Sure. Like that would be constituted for an hour. So yes, you will have had a long rest on the horses. That's fine.
Oh, long rest or no, short rest? You mean? Okay, cool. Right?
Sorry, short rest.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Great. Excellent. Wow.
Tails back. Oh, okay. Okay, Carla's going to.
What is the lighting
split
like in here? I'm so sorry.
Go on.
Anne, sorry about that.
One would say it would be dimly lit in here because there is little to no light.
Excellent. And how far up is the next floor? Can we see?
There are quite a few floors up because it's a tower. The next one up, I think, is about 30 feet.
Okay. Kasariel will sort of glance beneath her, and some like sort of black clouds, sort of purpley black clouds form, and she's gonna cast Steps of Night and just see you all when you figure that out. And I'm gonna fly up, but I don't want to look up there. I just want my eyes to peek. That's it. So just
Up on the
just
second
this
floor?
much. Yeah, just this much.
Okay. Up on the second floor, it is still relatively dark, and you notice that there's a whole bunch of books strewn about there.
I'll say to Carla, looks like books.
Oh, okay. Noticing Esmeralda stepping on the carpet, I'll assume that it's a little safer. But first, I've noticed a chest. I would like to try to open that chest and take whatever's in it.
Sure. The chest is unlocked, but if you want to, like, there's a whole bunch of boxes and chests and whatnot. If you want to rummage through that, just give me an investigation check.
Oh, that's a 10. I rolled a 2.
You got a +8 on that? Holy dang.
Yeah.
Okay. You find here, little shopping list, so get ready. You find 2 pieces of hempen rope, which are 2 times 50 feet.
Love those.
Nice.
You'll find a bit of chain, 10 feet.
Ooh, hell yeah.
You'll find 4 wooden stakes.
Yeah.
You'll find 2 garlic bulbs.
We're gonna have spicy dinner, guys.
And 1 flask of holy water.
Ooh,
So-
okay.
We found Buffy's backpack.
That would be a conclusion that one would make if one would not be playing Dungeons and Dragons. Yes.
Buffy
That's
who?
amazing. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Her first name Buffy, last name the Vampire Slayer.
One word.
Renowned
Do I look
in
like the kind of
Neverwinter.
girl who doesn't know who Buffy is?
I know. I like the that's her literal name aspect.
She's the inventor
Actually,
of
what is her
elevators.
last name?
Summers.
Summers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Buffy Summers.
Hop on the
Anyway.
elevator and turn to Esmeralda and be like, how does I have to admit, I don't know. How does it work?
Oh, it's very simple. You just stand up here and you ask the elevator to go up. And as soon as she says the word up, the elevator lifts itself up to the next floor.
Do the
Wondrous.
golems actually like animate and pull the chains or
Yes, as soon as the word up is being said, the clay golems all come to life, if you will, and they start pulling on the change, pulling the platform up to the second floor.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hello.
As you come to
Busty.
the second floor, there is a whole bunch of books over here. And in one of the corners, indeed, you notice that there is a stone bust standing there looking out over all of the books here.
Ah. Boo came up with us on the elevator. I'm going to reach into
sure.
my bag and hand Boo one of the random scraps of fabric we have. I'm going to say, over his eyes, please.
Okay. He wraps a piece of cloth over the eyes of the bust over here. And as he does that, the bust exclaims, "Hey, please don't do that. It's the last thing I have."
Oh, you're just blatantly alive. You're not trying to hide it. Hello. Sorry about that. Usually the things that look at us, that our statues try to kill us. I'm Carla Lilacart. Pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. I'm Busty.
She'll look down at his chest and be like, could be better. But anyway.
I'm this close to giving you inspiration for that.
A dad joke? Come on.
More like
You turned her.
terrible joke.
Yeah, dad joke.
Can I? Are you cool if we like rummage through here a little bit? I'm trying to find out some information. You're gonna be very upset about it.
Is he still blindfolded?
I'll have Boo unblindfold him.
Okay. He'll look around and say, "Sure. There's not a lot of stuff in there. I've read most of these a lot of times, but sure. It's so nice to have someone to talk to. It's been a while."
Have you just been reading these books over again?
I got no thumbs. I can't get a book for myself. So yes.
So is in what way is he animate? Is it just the head or is it just the mouth or?
It's mostly the mouth, and the head moves a bit, but almost not. So yeah, this is relatively inanimate, but there's life there apparently.
What did you do to yourself to get yourself in this situation?
I don't know. I was created like this.
Oh, so you're not a person. Okay, fine.
Are you tied to this location, or can you move around?
I wish.
You can't
Wait,
move?
is that an invitation?
Yeah, I have like a bag we could put you in, and we have a butler at home who could really use some company. He loves poetry, so he could bring you new books.
Can I come with you?
Oh, absolutely, as long as you stay animated during that. But
I'd love to come with you, please.
Excellent. Amazing. We're going to just take a look around here first in case there's anything that we need, and then, we'll put you in our bag and we'll take you home with us.
Absolutely.
Okay. I hope
You
you
guys
guys
to
are
bring
cool
any
with
of the
that.
books for you. Any you haven't read.
Anything that I haven't read yet, please, yes.
Yeah, Carlo will do a full investigation for anything that's particularly related to Vampire, Strahd, the Wizard, Fanes, Sun Sword, or Andril, Saint Andril.
All right. Give me a investigation check.
Much better. That is going to be a 24.
Beautiful. You find 3 books that are not necessarily on your topic, but that do seem to be relatively interesting. You find the book Fanes of Barovia, which you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
You find the book Legend of Lugdana.
Ooh, that's new.
Yep, that's a new book. I will share that with you through Discord once we're done, because that's actually a bit of reading. And you find the book Battle at the Gates of Tsolenka.
Tsolenka.
That's a name you don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Tsolenka?
Tsolenka. Tsolenka.
Thank you.
I'm one of those people that has to actually white out if I make a mistake, so that saves me a lot of time. Appreciate that.
Perfectly fine. Don't worry. Most of these names in Curse of Strahd are worth spelling out because they're difficult.
So, my busty friend, what made you? Who made you?
Well, the wizard that lived here.
What can you tell me about him?
This wonderful man, the brightest wizard of these lands. He had this tower commissioned, you see, and then he came here, he studied, and then he left. And he wanted someone to take care of his books. So he created me.
So say I wanted to, and he sort of holds up a small flame from prestidigitation, burn these books. What would you do about it?
Well,
And he lets the flame disappear, and he goes, interesting logic.
I would stop you.
I'm sure.
Well, don't tempt me.
I won't. I wouldn't need to. We wouldn't need to do anything to bring you to stop me. I was just wondering.
This is actually quite interesting. Can you damage? Are you able to fight?
Oh, not in the traditional sense, ma'am, but maybe, yes. I have my usefulness, yes.
Oh,
what is your
can you
usefulness?
cast spells?
Yes.
Really? What spells can you cast, if I might ask?
Well, I can calm people that are around me when they want to do something irrational, such as burning books. I can speak in tongues. I can speak with anyone, and I have a possibility to create an arcane eye, and so many other things.
Very cool.
And you can't flip pages.
My
How
goodness.
tragic.
He is not always like this. He's being a bit of a bitch at the moment, but don't worry, he's quite nice otherwise.
He's possessed.
I'm just
actually.
saying he does have uses. It does have uses. Just wanted to make sure before we lugged it around for no reason.
Asha, how's that nose? Feeling all right?
He doesn't even dignify that with a response. He just continues looking around. So this wizard of yours, dead or gone?
No, he's I don't know.
Do you have a sense if he's near? At all?
No.
Oh.
You've never used your little eye to look around for them?
No.
And your only memories are of him creating you and telling you to guard this place?
Yes. Yes, and everything that's in the books that were in front of me.
Okay, well, if these books are important, we can pack them up. We'll pack you up and we'll locate
Oh,
you to...
I've read them 1,000 times. Please get them away from me. I want something fresh. I want something new.
Okay. Very well. Carla will delightfully take all the books that are interesting to her and then also open up her bag, and I'm going to go, Bagman, darling.
Yes.
You're going to have a little bit of a friend for a short period of time. Keep him good company. You know, he's very friendly. He's in busty, but just be nice to him, okay?
Not everyone can live in my bag space.
He's not alive. It's okay. He's like a stone that can talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So you put Bussy in your bag of holding?
Do we trust him with the bag, man? Do we?
I'm gonna close up the bag and then turn to Casariel and I'm going to say, we'll see what happens. Anything has to be better than living up here all the time.
Really like him, though. I don't want him to get hurt.
The penguin's been fine so far, and I fed him a curtain, so he should be okay.
So sentimental.
There's nothing wrong with it. If you didn't care about
That's
people or
one.
things.
That's one.
No, I think it's just adorable, actually. All of you. It's your
I'm sure you do.
carrying around your busty friend. So the wizard's no longer here. He turns to Esmeralda. You said you've been here before?
Yes, it's been a while, but this tower, as you might be able to notice, is all but deserted. I believe this tower has been built a couple of 100 years ago. As to the whereabouts of this wizard, I have no idea.
And you knew this statue here was the way it was?
I knew of it, but my office was usually on the top floor. I never really came to this part of the tower.
Oh, is this the, like, out of character question, is this not the top floor?
No, there's like 2 more floors.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, more to see.
Hey, well. To the top floor.
All right. You guys want to go
Up.
up?
Up.
And as you say the word up, Casaria, I imagine you're on the platform as well. Okay, just want to make sure. You move up to the 3rd floor. When you come to the 3rd floor, which is not the top floor, you still have 1 more floor to go. This floor looks rather magical, if you will. There is a big gash in the wall to the northwest. So it's a bit cold up here. But what strikes you immediately as you come up here is the fact that the ceiling of this room has been completely covered by some sort of like a starry night. And you can see faintly, but still clearly, a whole bunch of stars that are floating around near the ceiling in some sort of makeshift darkness. It looks rather beautiful.
I was going to look at whatever's glowing over here.
There's a pedestal over there with a telescope on it.
Turn to Esmeralda. May I have a look?
Sure, it's not mine.
Okay. Carla will look through the telescope and see what she can see.
The telescope itself is aimed at the night sky, and even though it is a very cloudy night, you can, through the telescope, see 2 things. 1, you can see the moon, and the moon seems to be a full moon. Secondly, looking at the stars, you notice that it's pointed at a particular, well, what you assess would be a constellation.
Can I try and like copy down the pattern of the constellation as I'm looking through it?
Sure.
And then hold it up to Esmeralda. Do you recognize this? Do you know what it is?
Some stars, I guess. I'm not good with astrology. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay, just in case. Thank you.
Is the globe that I'm standing next to, does it depict the world beyond, or is it specifically Barovia?
It's an interesting question. It depicts Barovia, but only part of it. You very clearly can make out a couple of places. You see Kresk, you see the Wizard of Wines, you see the Wizard Tower that you are right now. But you also see that the map isn't complete. For Vallaki, for example, is missing on the map.
So Vallaki is between where we are and Castle Ravenloft, if my memory serves of the map. Is
More or
it,
less, yeah.
Is it just an empty space on the map, or does it actually look like the castle is much closer to where we are now?
No, it looks like it hasn't been drawn in yet. It looks like someone is still actively making this map.
John's just fiddling with the globe right now.
I was gonna pop over to the table and have a root around.
On the table, there is a little book There is a candle and stuff to just like light up the table. And there is a device, and the device looks like some sort of a gemstone that has been surrounded by a couple of copper circles. The circles themselves have some inscription on them, and they are surrounding the gem in the middle as if they're all trying to sort of like encompass it in various shapes and sizes. It looks like a rather interesting gadget, but initially you have no idea what this is.
I'm out of first levels as well, so I couldn't do identify on it.
If I was a very powerful wizard, I imagine I would have a way to travel easily between places here. Do you think this is some sort of a teleportation device?
Would be. I'll open up the bag and kind of bring Busty out. And say, do you know what that is?
No, never seen it.
Can you read the inscription on it? Do you know what it says?
Armillery.
Armillery.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll put them back in.
Like R.Millery?
As in ARMILLARY.
Okay. I'll take a look around too, see if anything.
If your teleportation idea is right, whoever was living here didn't know all of this land. There are places they were unaware of. He gestures
Perhaps
to-
places they didn't have a teleportation circle in.
With the book.
Can I take a
is-
look around?
Sure, give me an investigation check.
Ooh. Ooh. 22.
Awesome.
Other than the items described right now, most of the items around you is debris. You notice the word amillery as well on the item that is on the table, and whether or not you can make heads or tails of that, I don't know. One thing you do notice, though, is that while you're looking around the room, and you look at the telescope that is pointing outside, suddenly you notice that there is a little inscription on there. The inscription says Exithanter.
We've heard that. That's the.
And that's this one down here.
That's the
Carlos
that's the
looking at?
big circle. Yeah, that's the telescope.
Okay.
That's the name of the
And
wizard.
what about this
isn't it?
little lever? Yeah. This
The
little
lever seems to be used to control the telescope, to move him around.
Okay, can I pull it?
Sure, it'll just adjust the telescope.
Okay, if I look, I'm gonna look in before I pull it, and then pull it, and then look in.
Okay. You look outside and you see a different constellation, or what you think is a constellation.
This is reminding me so much of a game I played before called Myst. I don't know if you guys have played it, MYST, but this is like
100%.
just so Myst right now.
Yep.
Just cue the creepy music, and we are there.
Yep. Good memories.
All right. Asha, did that map you're looking at move at all?
I was fiddling with the globe. Did it change in the last few moments?
It did not.
Did the constellations in the room change?
They did.
Aha!
Nice. Nice.
Thank you, Mist. Thank you, Mist. All right.
Our cookie.
And what about this little device here on the table?
That remained unchanged.
Is there anywhere in the room that looks like that device would fit into?
No. I mean, other than like the gaping hole in the wall, but that's not exactly what you're looking for. Like you can totally throw it outside, but that's not your question.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the lever again.
Okay. Same thing applies. You see another constellation, and you notice that the stars in the room are different.
The same. Is it the same constellation as one I've seen before, or a different one?
No, it's a different one.
Interesting. All right.
Wonder how
I'll
many of these are there.
pull it again.
Okay, you'll have another constellation. I imagine you want to keep doing this. There's about 12 of them.
I would like to keep doing this. Yes.
All right, there's
As
12
she's-
constellations and 12 changes.
As she's doing that, Carla's going to look at the book that's on the table. Does it read anything interesting on it?
Give me a raw intelligence check.
Ooh. Nat 20 plus, like,
Wow. I don't
2.
care about the plus. It's a nat. While you're reading through this book, you all of a sudden realize what this item is. It's an armillary. Wow, that's the inscription as well. But you also know what it is.
I know what it is. Oh my god.
Yes. So
Wild.
an armillary sphere is it's sort of like a classic way of how to show a planet with like the different stars and comets that are flying around it. Those are the copper bands that are floating around it. It's a gadget-like item that is basically there to plot stars and to show like how a planet and its constellation around it work. The book itself tells you on how to use the device, but funnily enough, within the book, at a couple of places, it says that if you move the item in a certain manner, there might be some static discharge.
I'll try to move it in that manner if I can.
Sure. You charge up the armillary device, and because you understand the book with the nat 20, I'm going to give it like to you the way it is. As you do that, you feel the innate magical energy coming from this device. Apparently, this thing can cast lightning.
Love it.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Okay.
I'm
Carla
sorry.
is
Can you say that again? There's something wild going on outside my house right now. I cannot put my finger on what it is, and I've been trying. I'm a little. What just happened? I'm so sorry.
The armillary can cast lightning. Carla figured out how to work it so that if
That's awesome.
in turn a certain direction, it will cast the spell lightning.
Oh, cool.
That's amazing.
So
Lightning bolt?
what
Or-
you need to
Cool.
properly align it, and the only way to align it is to basically keep in mind what the current constellation is and align it with that. But you can get that from the book. And if you do that, you can use an action to hold a lightning spell in place in this item, and then you can aim it at a creature, and then it basically just uses a stroke of lightning. It's literally a lightning spell.
That's
in a
amazing.
That's so cool. Okay, I'll explain that to the room, and then I'm going to snatch it and put it in the bag of holding.
Cool. I will work with you to add it to your items. It is not an item you need to attune to, but it quite literally is an item that
awesome.
requires one action to set and then one item to discharge. One action to discharge.
And luckily, I am a person with a lot of bonus action power, so that's great. Okay, great.
Very cool.
Oh, that's so cool. While she's there, she's also going to take the ink that's on the table, just to restock her supply.
Escher's casually like tracing something on the globe over here, just sort of almost wistfully interacting with it.
Shall we?
I'm ready when you are. We can go up.
Up.
It goes up once more. And at the top floor, you notice a couple of things. First off, you notice a bed with a footlocker, a desk with a chair, and a giant suit of armor that is standing over here on the top floor.
So the suit of armor, that's supposed to be there, yeah? Turn to
Yeah.
Esmeralda. Okay. Hasn't attacked you or anything before?
Not yet, no. No, it's just been there.
Okay, cool. And this is this your space or?
Well, it's not mine, but I've been here before, yeah.
Okay.
I believe the note that I wrote for my teacher is still on the table. She looks a little saddened to see that the note is indeed still there.
Hasn't been back
Sorry.
yet then, has he? Sorry to hear.
Is there anything of note up here that we should mark or anything that you haven't looked at yet?
I'm gonna read the note. Sorry.
The note itself reads out, Rudolph, I have returned to the tower, but it seems that you have left some time ago. I have gathered information on Strahd and learned more about his consorts. I have left the information for you and hope you return soon. I will be gone for a short time, but will return before the next moonrise. I hope you are safe. Faithfully, Esmeralda.
Gathered information on his consorts. What do you mean by that?
Oh, you read my note, huh? I mean this, and she walks over to a wall where there's a lot of scribbling done on the wall.
I will absolutely walk over there as well.
So you guys know that meme where this guy looks like really like, stressed out, like at the wall, like, with all the lines and whatnot. It's like one of those walls.
Oh, look at all these strings.
Esmeralda.
Lovely strings.
Yes.
You should know our guest, our friend here, is Escher.
The name's Escher, yes.
Oh, do you
Does
mean
that
this
mean
Escher? And
anything
she
to you?
points at the wall.
You
His
know
name is
about
on
him.
there.
What can you tell
On the
us?
wall, there is some sort of a family tree, if you will. There's a large symbol in the middle that is labeled Strahd. Below that are 4 sketches of women, each labeled bride, with the names Ludmilla, Anastasia, Volenta. The 4th one has a question mark. Next to them, there's a sketch of a man with the name Escher. And below his name it says consort. To the left, there is a sketch of a man, and the name reads Rahadin. And below it says Chamberlain, Ravenloft. To the right, there is a sketch of a woman, and the name reads Lady Vakta. Below the word unknown.
He is a cultist of Strahd. Carla's going to say, and she'll start filling in part of the wall.
Just one of more.
You
of his
just write that
puppets.
down because Esmeralda will let you.
Yeah, she'll start filling in what she knows about Lady
Esmeralda,
Voctor.
what I mean by that is that this body is my friend John, but right now, Escher is possessing him. So
Is there anything
anything
we
that's
can do
seen
about that?
here, anything that is seen here, you can assume is being sent directly to Castle Ravenloft.
You may assume that, but he doesn't need to know what I do in my own free time.
Yes, but she should be made aware that you are peeking in uninvited, as usual.
I would have preferred to know that before I brought you to a place where
Yes.
information is out in the open, but I
Yes,
do
and-
appreciate your honesty.
He's looking over it, and he's when you write cultist, Carla, he also says she's just another pawn of his.
And you're not?
Oh no, we all are.
Yes, well, I mean, we have to get specific, you know. A chessboard has many pieces. It has knights, it has rookies, and it has pawns. So, she's a cultist version of a pawn.
And
Strahd.
you're a whore, so she's going to turn back to the.
Yes. We do what we must to survive.
Okay, that's fair. Is that what's stealing? Sorry.
You know what, Esha? Perhaps you should explain to us exactly what you're doing here. Why are you here? What are you up to? Make me believe you.
Well, sometimes you seem to need a nudge in the right direction. I don't think John will be giving you that nudge every time. And as for one, sometimes some become tired of being pawns. They want to take back their own strings. You seem capable enough. You might be able to help me in that regard.
Are you telling us you need our help? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I can't do it alone. And you're very useful in general. It's quite a compliment. I don't say that about everyone.
How did you possess him? Are you some demon of some sort? Do you have fiendish abilities? Spell, or is it just that weapon?
I found a convenient artifact, and I'm particularly talented. How do you, he looks at Kazara and goes, how do you fly in the night? And how do you commune with these ghosts? You're very talented, if I say so myself.
But the point being is you're not going to run back to Strahd. All this information.
He doesn't need
What
any
if we
more
stop
help.
being talented? What if we stop being useful to you? Will you just sell us all out then?
You're not the first puppets I've come across. But
What
you are
did
the
you do
most
then?
successful. Oh, I tried to help them, nudge them along. Some of them were more foolish than the others. Some were arrogant and tried to move before they should have. You're making it further than I expected.
Do you know how to stop him, actually? Are you just trying to figure it out as well?
I'm working on that.
Keep us updated. Give us back, John.
Are these women the reason why you're feeling so slighted, Esha? Ludmilla? Valenta? No?
He's always had his other playthings. That's not necessarily something you need to know. You're on the right path. I'm nudging when I'm needed, and let's leave it at that.
Esmeralda has walked over to the other side of the room to the footlocker that is near the bed. And she turns at you and she says, I remember that there's something in here as well. Maybe it can help us. I don't really see the value of it, but I remember that my teacher saved this for later here, and there must be a reason why he did so. She opens up the footlocker, and she gives to whoever wants to hold it a small brown box made of intricately carved wood and the hilt of a sword.
Like inside it is a hilt of a sword.
No, that's a separate item. The box itself is still closed.
Okay.
The hilt of the sword looks absolutely beautiful, but it is missing its blade, and it's missing some sort of gem on the side. Still, for a hilt, it looks beautiful.
To turn to Casariel, and I'm going to say, think this is beautiful enough to house the sun itself?
I think so.
I'll kind of put it back into Esmeralda's hand, take the box, and go to open it.
You open up the box. A faint smell of herbs and lavender hit you, as well as the smell of decomposition. For inside the box are some herbs and a severed head.
Whose head?
What's in the box?
No idea. You don't recognize them.
But it's their head.
It's someone's head, absolutely.
I'll turn to Casariel. Do you have the power to speak with this fellow?
Yes, if we just take him with us, I could, after we sleep.
Okay. Yes. I suppose there's no harm in trying now. A little bit for what I can do, and then if that doesn't work, I'll go with what you can do. I'll put the head down because we're at this point in the campaign where we no longer care about severed heads. And
Esmeralda,
I will.
who is
It's a
this?
Tuesday.
Does Esmeralda know, Carla?
I don't know who this is, no.
Okay, I will try to call forth a spirit. I'm gonna bust out the crystal ball this time. Try to get it to talk to me through that.
Sometimes
To
you just need
change
to get
things
ahead
up.
in life.
There's no reaction through your crystal ball. It seems to be a dead head.
Ah, no ghost hanging around this one, I'm afraid. We'll wait until tomorrow when Casariel can perhaps commune with it. And I'll lock it back up and I'll say, Can I take this to Esmeralda?
Yeah, I see no need for me to keep it, so please.
Excellent. I will put it in the bag of holding.
Sariel is looking at this wall. Again, she's looking at the diagram, and all of a sudden she looks at Escher and just like bounds toward him. It's my mother. Is my mother one of his brides? She grabs him by the shirt.
She's
Is my
one.
mother? Question mark.
I'm gonna say I don't believe so, but is that correct?
Escher wouldn't know this.
Okay.
So it's a good question,
She-
but whether or
if
not that is true, Escher wouldn't know.
If she's in these lands, she's just as much a pawn as we are. I don't know what his interests
she's in these
are in
lands?
him. I don't know what his interests are in her. But it's not unheard of. I've heard that she's beautiful, and that's his style.
I believe him. Strangely. I think. Should I roll for that?
Sure.
Okay.
I told you he doesn't know, but you can roll for it still.
Yeah,
17 plus.
you can
8.
roll whether or not you
Yeah.
believe him, but
Yeah, I
right,
know.
so, yeah.
Meta, I get it, but
Right.
like, it's 17 plus 8, so.
So then, yeah, he's not like he's been guarded about things before, but like something in this tower with just seeing the globe, seeing the edges, but he was basically looking at the edges of the map and where it just he's you know as far as he knows he can't go past that anymore, and he's kind of a little more talkative today. So yeah.
She'll just release him. Fix his collar.
Who were you before you were here? You said John's brother said you ran with him. Right?
You met
Arcanist?
James.
Hmm.
Is he still around?
He's undead.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yes. Life for is more of a dream now than anything.
So, do we need something else from this tower, or what?
It seems that all of the interesting information has been gleaned. Is there anything more that you'd like to share?
I wanted you to see the wall that was up here. I didn't remember the names, but I see them now that they're here. Apparently, there are some 4 brides, 3 of which my teacher knew by name.
Did we hear the name Ludmilla somewhere? I feel like we
Yes.
just heard the name Ludmilla. Okay, you guys know that. All right, good.
Well,
Yes.
From the wall. Have we heard it before?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah. So
We did have a book that
Really?
had like an Logdana, but it's not Ludmilla.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's another one.
exactly what I was thinking.
So
Okay.
Curse of
Rahadin was
Strahd.
on there. Rahadin was on
Luckily,
there.
there's only like a.
Lady Voctor was on there, but Ernst, Ernst didn't even merit the wall.
The Water Hill becoming an open, honest brothel. Oh my god.
I was just hoping that my teacher would be here. You've heard his first name now that's, well, whatever he is, read the note.
Rudolph, by the way.
My teacher's name is Rudolf van Richten. He's a famous vampire hunter.
Interesting.
I've
Ooh. After I
learned
sleep?
a lot from him.
After I sleep, I can message him
I don't think.
for you. You don't think what?
I don't think I've even heard of that name in these parts. Very interesting. He's managing to keep unknown. That's
If
good.
he's still around.
That's very good. No, this is good. If I haven't heard of them, it's possible others haven't either, which means that may be a bit of an advantage for us. I'm just saying, it's good to have competent friends.
I hope that he's still around.
Me as well.
We can find out in the morning.
Oh, I do hope he's still around as well. There are some baby vampires running around near Vlocky that we still haven't dealt with.
So, would you like to set up camp up here for the night, or do you want to travel on to? Was it Vallaki we're going to?
Yes, we have a mansion over there. Kind of determining the time of day it is and sort of the trip that it takes. Would it take us very long to get from here to the mansion before nightfall or within nightfall?
It would be past midnight if you would want to go to the mansion. It's possible to go through the night. As a matter of fact, from where you are right now, if you want to push through to Vallaki, you would make that within the night. If you wouldn't, then, well, you have to rest somewhere.
I kind of want to skip over trying to like do a bit of travel and just travel throughout the night and stay within our mansion. Get set up there with all the stuff that we've gotten.
Get Busty out to hanging with Orpheus.
Is that something that you guys want to do as well, or is that like pushing it? Because it would just be meaning we might get an encounter late at night.
I'd be okay with rushing.
Okay.
Did we, while whatever was going on outside my door, did we talk? What's going on with this set of armor?
She
Do we
said
know?
she said it's never moved before, or it's never threatened her.
Did somebody inspect it? Talk to it? Do anything with it?
Nope.
I walked right up to it to read the note.
Nothing happened.
Yep.
Okay. Just before we leave, to be clear, downstairs, did anything change in the telescope? Did they ever become like unsynchronized, like the constellation when I looked through the telescope?
Nope. They were perfectly synchronized with the stars that you would see inside the tower.
Yeah, it's okay. What else changed besides the stars inside the tower?
She found
Nothing,
that the
apparently.
artillery was able to use the constellations to fire
I think it
beams
was-
of concentrated electricity.
It seemed to be like a little clue to hint at the fact that we might have to move the artillery to constellations to get it to work the way that it does.
Artillery. I love it. It's basically that's what
What?
it is. Sorry.
What now? How does that correlate? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
So the artillery is
don't.
basically like the...
Oh,
Oh, they
they
don't.
don't.
Oh, okay, they
They're
don't.
two separate
Okay.
things.
Okay. And so the map did not change when the constellations changed. Is that right?
Correct.
The map, the globe.
Correct.
And you went through all 12 constellations.
Yeah. Nothing changed in the tower. Like no rooms open, no do 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 do.
Nothing that you noticed.
I mean, I was looking pretty hard.
On
Nothing.
that floor.
I said what I said.
All right. Okay. Then I'm ready to leave,
All right.
I guess.
Yeah.
I will make you a. I love my rules of cool, and I like to apply them in other situations than just when you guys say something that is really cool. I'd like to make you a proposition.
Mhm.
Because you guys really want to go to Vallaki, but you guys also really want to take a long rest, right?
At our mansion. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll a d20, and depending on the outcome, two things can happen. If you guys are okay with this. Alternatively, we can do whatever you guys want, and that means that you will have to take a rest somewhere else. I'm going to roll a d20, and depending on the outcome, the travel to Vallaki, because you guys have horses, can constitute a long rest if nothing happens en route. My d20 will make that decision, whether or not something happens. If something does happen, you will have an encounter and not a long rest. And then you still need to decide where you want to have your long rest. Alternatively, we don't do this and you will take your long rest somewhere along the route or at your mansion and then move on forward.
I don't think we want to do anything throughout the night, do we?
Would you be comfortable staying here? I'd like to look at the map a bit more. If
Sure.
you're
I was
com-
just trying to
Well,
cut down on travel time in the next...
actually, I would rather sleep closer to, in case we encounter something, because I will use my spell abilities on an encounter. So if we, which I have much of now, and good health. So I'd
Yes.
rather.
we can.
I mean,
Carla, this map, is it something you could put in that bag of yours?
Oh, yes. Don't put anything in my bag.
The globe, would it be possible to take that with us?
Sure.
Open
Yay,
it
bag of
all up.
holding.
Cool.
This is why. There's bullshit reasons why.
Hey, look, a couch. Let's
I
take it
wanna-
with us.
I'd like to
The mansion needs
look at
decoration.
this and maybe fill it in a bit.
So yeah.
You can pay it with our map, and I'll open it up, put it in, and we can. I think it's worth the gamble.
Yeah, I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
Zariel, what about you?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's go fight
That's what
something.
the D20 says. You travel throughout the evening and ultimately the night, moving back towards the main road and getting to the bridge that leads to Vallaki. And you cross it and make it to Vallaki. Take your long rest. You had an 18. You were fine.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I needed my spell slots back desperately, to be fair.
All of you make it to Vallaki. And you all know the saying that it's darkest before the dawn, right? You arrive in Vallaki at the inn at the latest part of night, where it is the darkest. You go into Vallaki, the guards will let you in. And as you get to Vallaki itself, you make your way over to where you remember is the Blue Water Inn. And as you approach the area of the Blue Water Inn, you notice that, indeed, something has changed. For the Blue Water Inn no longer looks like the Blue Water Inn. The Blue Water Inn has been remodeled. The path towards the inn itself, now garnished with roses and red lights. And near the entrance, a gentleman stands looking at you, wondering if you guys want to go in, or if you're just watching. And which decision you're going to take there is something for the new year, because that is where we're going to end the episode for today.
Wow.
Wowie.
Oh, man. Time. Why? Time. Why?
So close. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our final stream for 2022 for the Gilded Flask. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed playing it. And we leave on a giant cliffhanger to see what's inside here, where Casariel's mom is, what's up with that, what she has to say, etc., etc. All of that will be ready for you for episode 32 in 2023. We will take our Christmas hiatus right now. Next week will be Christmas Eve, so we won't be streaming anything one after. I believe it's the night between the 31st and the 1st of January. So, yeah, no, we won't. But the week after, we will be back with you. So, for the coming 2 weeks, I hope you guys have a wonderful time with friends and family, as we do too.
We might be doing something, which we'll talk about in the Discord. We might be doing something as a community over the course of these times, where we might get together and just spend some time with each other.
True, because just because we don't stream on Saturdays doesn't mean that we don't stream entirely. We might want to do something with the community that's going to be fun with it. We will let you know in the Discord. So if you want to stay up to date with that, please join our Discord. We will let you know at our earliest convenience over there. Do you guys want to finish up with any very lovely Christmassy words?
All the cheer to all the amazing people of this community. You guys bring so much positivity and cheer to those around you and to us. Thank you so much, and you deserve it all in kind. I'll turn off my dark eyes so I don't seem so evil.
Yeah, this is
even Escher agrees.
This has been an incredible year, and it's because of the incredible just people who watch this, and also the incredible work that everyone here has done. Like Papa, Marissa, and Daniel have done so much work, and Papa doesn't get a name. His name's Barry. But yeah, it's been so incredible. It's been so fun. What a way to end the year, and I hope you all have a lovely holiday.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, the characters that we have are really cool. The two of you, Anne and Marissa, you guys are making such lovable characters that have their strengths and flaws, that we can watch them grow, and you guys are doing such an amazing job with their stories. And I wanted to see Barry, this has been an epic, I hate that word, epic show, or story. I know you've made a lot of changes to it. I know you've put your own flair on it. This is insanely awesome. This is your second one ever, at least in our group. So incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I'm enjoying it as much as you guys are. Like just seeing you guys play through this and like experiencing the little moments and the big moments where the reveals happen and you guys are all sitting there like that makes it all worth it. So thank you so much for that as well. And of course the community, the guys and girls that are with us in chat and on YouTube and in the Discord and all that. Like we're doing this for ourselves and we're doing this for you just as well. And it is just a great blend. We're enjoying all of the reactions we're getting from you. So thank you so much. We're going to wrap this up. We're going to see you in the new year with episode 32 of The Curse of Strahd and the Gilded Flask. See you then. You have a good one. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.